Hey, schmack 'em a gob, everybody. It is I, Dr. Fuckalicious. And with me is,
Oh yeah, the Ayatollah Alcoholic in Wadley Wadzilla. What's up, baby?
what's up, bro? I miss Eddie Money.
You miss Eddie Money? You wish he was back?
Yeah,
I
man.
know. Sammy Hagar wishes he was back too, so he could open up for him.
Shaking. You know, my old drummer, there's an old picture of Eddie Money with his arm around Sammy Hagar. This is like
Yeah.
in the late 70s. My old drummer photoshopped my face on Eddie Money. It's the most perfect Photoshop I've ever seen. It was actually my main picture on Facebook for a while, where I
Oh
put
man, I missed that.
I even put this is when I was dating Bette Midler. Um, yeah, but right now I just came back from my buddy's house and I'm driving home with my iPod Shuffle and Shakin' comes on. God
Great
damn
song.
that song is so good.
Yeah.
Shaking. Whoa. Even though he had Apollonia in the video that has a penis, and the reason I know she has a penis because she dated Prince.
And David Lee Roth.
Yeah, another fact.
Because you heard the story about how Prince made her break up with David Lee Roth, right?
Yeah. During the filming of Purple Rain, I believe, right? I think it was during that time.
Correct.
Well, I mean,
Correct.
right there, man. I mean, come on. What makes him any different than Sammy Hagar? You're fucking with Dave's trim. Dave can't fuck that tranny now because of his ass. Hey, the Prince was at one time his name was the artist formerly known as Prince. Now
Correct.
he's the artist formerly known as Alive.
Oh, too soon.
He died.
That he did.
I don't mean to
Uh,
group on Prince because I know you're a fan, so I'm gonna refrain talking about the homo.
oh, okay.
The overrated dated music homo.
Oh, okay, okay. That you had to say overrated.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that.
All right. Well, man, we had a really good reception to our last episode where we did 5 albums that we love that most people hate. So let's get into those, man. We got some long ass fucking comments too. Motherfuckers gonna make me work for it. Uh, Ivan Stankovic,
Sankey.
29. Yeah. He says, "Hello, Kings. I missed to put a comment on 80s Priest, so just a quick look on Judas Priest 80s albums. Number one, Screaming for Vengeance. Number two, Defenders of the Faith. Number three, British Steel. That's it. From the others, I pick a song. One, Desert Plains. Two, Hot in the Cold, or Out in the Cold. Three, Turbo Lover. And four, Blood Red Skies. And now for your choices. I pick and I like AC/DC, Stones, Maiden, BOC, and Purple. But my list is not about albums which people hate, but it's for people to pay more attention. One, In Rock We Trust, Y&T. It's a homework of hair, glam, melodic heavy rock from 1984. Two, La Chinga, all 4 albums. Stoner heavy rock band from Canada, influenced by Zeppelin and Sabbath. Three, Spanish heavy rock band Baron Rojo.
Barón
Uh,
Rojo. Barón Rojo. I
yeah,
believe I
that too.
believe that means Red Baron, I think, in Spanish.
Ah, the album is Volman Brutal, 1982. Another Spanish heavy rock, Obus. El K Mas from 1984. Molly Hatchet, No Guts, No Glory, and The Deed Is Done, in my opinion, a very strong, heavy Southern rock album. And I want to single out 2 Spanish European heavy rock bands, Obus and Baron. What is it, Matt or Ralph?
Barón
Rod.
Rojo. Barón
Okay.
Rojo.
Armada Metal Latina. They know about these 2 bands. They are very popular in South America. And question for Ralph: have you heard of these 2 bands?
Only
Uh,
Barón Rojo. That's the only band I know.
okay. And question for Ian: are you more a fan of 70s hard rock music or more a fan of 80s metal music? Stay funny, Kings of the Underground. Man,
I know
that's it.
I know the answer to that. You would have to pick 70s because you didn't like 80s metal. You liked 80s gay music.
I don't know, man. I love both of them so much. Man, I don't know. I'd have to think on that, but yeah, I love both. I don't know which one wins.
I would answer
Uh,
that, but that question wasn't for me.
yeah. Zachary B98, fantastic episodes, guys. There was more agreement than I thought. I was expecting you guys to go after each other. So for my birthday, my girlfriend decided to take me to see Megadeth. She knows I'm a big fan. Typically, his set lists have been meh, but you guys got to hear their set list. It was actually pretty good. And here's the set list: Wake Up Dead, In My Darkest Hour, Hangar 18, Tipping Point, Poison Was a Cure, I Don't Care, Hook and Mouth, Sweating Bullets, Take No Prisoners, Puppet Parade, Let There Be Shred, The Conjuring, Tornado of Souls, Peace Sells, Symphony of Destruction, and Holy Wars. Uh, yeah, not too bad. Besides Puppet Parade, I actually liked every new song he played. Otherwise, it was just classic Megadeth. No crappy Trust or Turd Lemon. Plus, I finally got to see Conjuring live. I will say, yeah, I saw earlier they weren't playing The Conjuring, so I'm glad he got to see it. Ian will get drunk on these shows and ask for suggestions for episodes. Ralph then gets mad at fans trying to dictate what they do.
No,
I
no,
think
look. In my defense, the fans suck.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe do an Exciter, the band episode would be cool. Love Exciter. I know Ralph does as well.
It'd be cool if you did the goddamn episode and put it up on your channel. That'd be even cooler. Hey man, I'm the one telling you what to do. Do an Exciter episode, and I want a discography episode of Scritti Politti because I'm thinking of my brother here, Ian Wadley, who's a big fan of Scritti Politti.
See, Ralph hates you fucking Rock and Metal Combat podcast listeners because you don't pay money. The Almost Human guys pay money.
And here's the funniest part. The almost human people that pay me money, don't tell nobody. But I hate them too.
Okay, don't
don't tell nobody.
Yeah, keep that shit under the hat.
I think Zachary's one of these people that donate to me, actually.
Anyway, he says you guys haven't talked about any album from them. I would love to do an Exciter episode, by the way.
Not me. I want to do Scritti Politti.
I also think a full-on new wave of British heavy metal episode would be awesome. I agree. Like maybe top 5 or 10 favorites. Only can have one Maiden album in there to keep it spicy. Ralph tears my ass apart if you think it's stupid, and it's just a couple ideas. I don't expect anything or trying to force you.
Well, so I'm expecting something, and I'm forcing you. Scritti Politti discography, and I also want you to talk about Boy George. That's what I want. I want that. Jump to my hoop, boy.
My birthday is the 14th. No actual cool shows on my birthday. Me and my girlfriend are going to see a Misfits cover band the next night. They do both Graves and Danzig eras. Wow. I think the last time Ralph saw Megadeth was opening for the Misfits.
Yeah.
I'll be blasting Women and Children First and drinking whiskey on my birthday because we all know I like the bottle better than the rest. Cheers, guys. Great post, man.
Yeah, I am goofing on you, but that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate, but I ain't doing your shit. And I also want to say, man, I saw the Peace Sells tour twice, which has Chris Poland and Gar Samuelson and the Jackoff King and Dave Mustaine, right? I saw
yes.
that show. I saw that show twice. Top that fucking set list. Thank you.
Oh, well, yeah. All you got to choose from is the first 2 albums.
It's like I saw the Peace Sells tour. It's kind of like back in 1986. I got the greatest blowjob of my life. Guess what? Now in 2026, I got a pretty damn good blowjob. But it wasn't like that 1986 blowjob. The only thing I liked about my 2026 blowjob, at one part, it reminded me of The Conjuring.
All right. Wayne Noon ain't here to defend himself, so we're not going to talk about that.
Ah, he sucks a good dick, that guy.
I love Wayne. A couple I'm sorry, this is Greg Swenson. He says, a couple albums I love that most don't: Judas Priest Jugulator and AC/DC Stiff Upper Lip.
Yeah. Both suck.
I agree.
You know
Elevator.
what it is about Stiff Upper Lip is okay for what it is. But Jugulator, it's like any band out there that tries to be Pantera, they suck, in my opinion. And that's what that is. That's a lame ass Pantera wannabe album. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Yeah. But hey, it's cool that you like it. Who was that?
Yeah, that was Greg Swenson.
Cool that you like it, dude. I can't stand that fucking album.
All right. Elevators fan says, love Come Taste the Band. Nice choices. Would love to hear a part 2. Thanks, guys.
All right. Yeah, I like that guy. I like him because he didn't ask us to do something.
All right. Zandig 666. Merciful Fate in 22 was awesome. One of the bands I don't mind if people are missing. As long as Hank and King are there, so am I. This is coming from a 60-year-old metal lover. Stay heavy, Ian and Ralph. Ralph and Ian. And then he put a smiley face. I can't believe Ralph doesn't like Prong. I had my face melted twice by Tommy Victor and Prong. In clubs, no less. Fucking A.
You know why I don't like Prong? Because I'm the kind of person that wants Michael Denner, Kim Ross, Timmy Hansen, and Hank Sherman with King Diamond. That to me is Merciful Fate. Okay? I saw the 9 tour. It was great, but it wasn't Merciful Fate. But that's my opinion. And I don't care if you're saying, hey, I'm 61, so I'm more knowledgeable. You say, well, it's only 1 year. Try not eating for a year. Thank you.
Did you see Merciful Fate on the 9 tour? Did they tour the States for that?
Yeah. I saw it. I had to go all the way to St. Petersburg to see that.
Did they play any tracks off the album?
Of course. They opened up with the song 9, which is a rare song to open up a show with. They did Last Rites. They did, what's that, House on the Hill or something like
that? I mean, that was my first Merciful Fate album, really.
It's a great album, but it's not. It's a great album, but come on, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I know it's not really like Merciful, but I mean that's the one I got that made me go back and check out Melissa and the other ones, and I still love that album.
9 is my second favorite of the reunion stuff. That's my second favorite.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those I think if you saw them now, you're probably not going to hear anything off of 9. Which sucks because
you're not going to hear anything off of anything after the 80s. They don't do anything at all.
Right. All right. Jackson Rollin says, another great episode, guys. Enjoy hearing 5 albums that are unpopular or hated for one reason or another. For Ralph, best album on his list I like was No Prayer for the Dying. For the worst is Snorstra Dumbass. Boring and bad, power metal done badly, still will never be as horrible as Demolition. For Ian, you didn't pick many bad albums. I like or love all but one of those albums. Best albums, Come Taste the Band. I didn't even know it was unpopular with fans. I enjoy it. For worst, Alice Cooper Easy Action is forgettably bad. For my list of unpopular albums I love that most hate, I guarantee you and Ralph hate these albums. Wow, once again, Judas Priest Jugulator.
Yeah, you're right. I do hate it.
2 best songs are Cathedral Spires and the title track. Only song I hate on it is Death Row. I will agree. My 2 favorite songs are your 2 favorite songs. Wow. Wasp Eldorado. It's my 4th favorite Wasp album, and I enjoy the over-the-top, cheesy, dirty, slimy songs. Only minor problem is the songs sound very similar, but in a good way. Best song on there is Damnation Angels.
That is a good song.
It sticks out.
I like that. That's the best song on there. Damnation. Yeah. Good tune.
Overkill, The Killing Kind. Yeah. I've never heard any Overkill fans ever talk about this album online.
There's a reason. There's a reason why people don't talk about that album.
I've heard people talk about it, but not in a good way. I don't think it's as bad as most people do, but I do see it as like that's them trying to do their Pantera kind of thing. He says, like, it doesn't exist or it's not the best for sure, but I enjoy it and it's better than their last three albums for sure for me.
Yeah, so
Uh,
Jackson's a fan of Pantera downgrade bands.
all right. Another one he likes is Bathory Requiem. A lot of fans hate this album. I like it and enjoy it because it's so primitive and dirty sounded, even with the drum machine. It's far from their best. However, you can do worse. I enjoy it. 35 minutes of primal brutality. Ralph probably only knows this album, not Ian. Uh, yeah, I don't. I know I have it, but I don't know if I really love the first Bathory album.
I do know it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Blood, Fire,
All
and
right.
Breath, and the first one of my favorites.
Slayer, Divine Intervention. I really enjoy this album a lot. A
Oh.
lot of people hate it. It has some bangers, and they even play some of it off live, like Ditto Head. I've seen Scab Slayer play it years ago. Production sucks, but I still like the music. I enjoy hearing both of you goof on me.
Hey,
Um,
you know the thing is, that is Scab Slayer. I've seen Scab Slayer play, but that is Scab Slayer. Why?
right.
Because Hanneman wasn't there? Dude, Lombardo
No,
was
no, no, no. Hanneman's on Divine.
no, I'm
It's
saying when he saw them play it, I'm sure with Gary Holt, which
right.
that's why he's calling it Scab. But to
Yeah.
me, it was Scab right when Dave Lombardo left.
Right. I mean, I don't hate Divine, but I
I
mean, I
do.
just think it was a big step down.
I just
Uh,
thought it was them trying to be like, oh, let's be like the Ramones of thrash. It's just
well,
them doing thrash for the sake, like Exodus. Exodus very guilty of it. Let's just for the sake of being thrashy, let's do trash. You know?
yeah. I like that they were trying to go back to like really heavy. I just don't think the songs were there. There's some songs I
They,
like on it, but overall, I just don't think, especially after Seasons. I mean, Seasons just had the songs, man,
Seasons
and
was the last gasp. That
yeah,
that Divine it had Serenity and Black. That shit's very different.
yeah.
You know, whatever.
All right.
Hey, more power to you. I saw that tour with Machine Head and Biohazard. Boy, that
I,
sucked.
I
And
knew
then
Machine had opened up. I didn't know Biohazard did too.
Biohazard was the second band. Machine Head opened, then Biohazard was
Wow.
the player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Double suck.
Edwin Edwin Canistracci. Great episode. Better than Sergeant Pepper and Nostradamus. McSorley fan, 33. Haha. Another classic episode. Damn, Ralph, I almost forgot the infamous No Prayer for the Dying tour where Dickinson broke his penis. LOL. Uh, that's absolutely pointless sounds. At the risk of sounding like an Ian fan, I agree on blow up your video. It has nothing to do with timeline because I wasn't alive when it came out. I've had the CD for 16 years and it finally clicked when I gave it a listen earlier this year. To
I
me,
said
Simon Wright.
I said I liked it as well.
Yeah. To me, Simon Wright is a standout player on the album, despite the shitty, dated 80s drum sound. The beat for Nick of Time is really unique. An outtake, All Right Tonight, also has a cool groove that is off kilter. I like that he was trying to push boundaries of the AC/DC sound rather than playing like a third rate Phil Rudd. I need to give Rocker Bust another go. There was some good stuff on it. However, the production and some of the performances are too clean, tepid, and polite for what I want out of AC/DC. Although production is not as shit as Blow Up Your Videos.
But and so many people are so anal with production. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Song's good. The song's good. I don't care how the fucking album sounds. What's wrong with you?
Heavy metal
You just
rules.
people are just looking for shit to piss you off. Well, I think the album's good, but the production never
Yeah.
fails. I just want to complain.
Is it
Even
well?
even if the album's good, I gotta complain one way or another.
Well, sir, let me ask you. I don't know if I've ever asked you this because I know you infamously say, like, I don't hear production like, you guys do and all this shit. Is there an album that you don't like because you think it sounds like shit? Not the songs, but you just think sounds like shit and it kind of takes you out of it, or no?
No, on the contrary, all albums that sound like shit, and I can tell if an album sounds like shit. I can tell. It adds charm to it. Born Again, Hotter Than Hell, Psalm 9 from Trouble, Blizzard of Oz. I can tell those albums have not great production, but I love it. The sounds of I've never heard a fucking album that sounded so bad that I'm like, fuck, I would love these songs more, but the sound of that album is so bad. Look, I'll give you an example. Monster. Everybody complains about Monster is not only bad production, but it does that clipping thing, you know, how Death Magnetic was accused of that. I don't hear that either. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, you know, another thing is like all the years you spent in the front row getting your ears blown out, might have
that may have something to do with it. See, that's the problem. All you people that complain about production, you're all pussies that wear earplugs at shows. You're a bunch of posers. Hey, people that can't tell bad production are not posers.
Heavy Metal Rules, great episode as usual. Great picks you guys had. And a part 2, 3, and 4, and so on would be awesome. I would have to agree with Ralph's opinion on Yngwie. He has always stayed true to his style of playing. My hat's off to him. Totally off topic, or is it? But if you had to choose to either party with a bunch of Muslims or Sammy Hagar, which would you pick?
Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar.
Oh man. No,
I would die. I would get killed by Muslims.
Yeah.
Where Sammy Hagar, I can kill him.
Yeah. See, I have a unique take on this. I would like to take a bunch of Muslims to a Sammy Hagar party and then leave. Before the bomb goes off.
Dude,
but I think that would.
Nah, dude, that's even more vicious than what Muslims do. That's cold.
Yeah, but they would just kill themselves so they didn't have to fucking listen to all those fucking homos. I love it though. That would be great.
Homo off a building or go to Sammy Hagar.
I wish.
Off the building.
I want a 9/11 to have. Where's a jet plane flying in to a county fair that fucking Sammy Hagar's playing at? That would be fantastic. No loss of substantial casualties. It'd be great. Smash and Dale says, okay, here's my dirty laundry in no particular order. Ooh, holy shit. Rush, Hold Your Fire.
Ew.
Death Leopard Hysteria.
Ouch.
Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor.
I like that one.
AC/DC, Blow Up Your Video.
That's a great one.
Venom, Possessed.
A little off there.
Not interesting, but it is what it is. Hey, I admire you for coming out.
Yeah. Congratulations.
RMCP Mark. Hey guys, another great episode by the Podcast Kings. I didn't have a chance to comment on the Priest episode. My question wouldn't have been better idea if the band released Defenders show recorded at Long Beach 94 instead of the Priest live, or the Vengeance show they recorded in Memphis. P.S. Fuel for Life VHS tape is better since it included Hellbent, Green Manalishi, and Locked In.
It's my favorite live album of what they released was actually that Record Store Day from a couple years ago, Screaming for Vengeance in Atlanta. I thought that was even better than the Memphis show. But that Long Beach Arena Defenders, I do have it. They re-released it on the anniversary edition of Defenders. That's awesome. I recorded that back in the day, on a cassette for my stereo, because they gave it on Kim Bissett. But man, that Atlanta one blew my mind.
Yeah. I don't know if I checked that one out. Of course, I know the Memphis.
Let me grab it. Let me go ahead and read the next one.
All right. Scribble says, here's my 5. This is entertaining. Number 5, Ice-T, Gangsta Rap. His final solo album, luckily, comes out of retirement this month and is dropping his solo album Criminal Migraine later this month. Number 4, Rob Zombie, Hillbilly Deluxe Part 2. The year was 2009, and been 10 years since Rob had a truly successful album, Hillbilly. So he thought, fuck it. Let me just throw the title on my most successful album on this baby. I despised it because I always compared it to the first. This year I listened to it again and really enjoyed it. Number 3, Limp Bizkit, $3 bill, y'all. I won't go into this one, but it's got suicidal tendency vibes, blasphemy, blow me.
That's Scribble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only guy I know that likes Limp Bizkit. Look, this is the album.
Hold on. Let me get you on video here. Okay.
This came out, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that a bonus disc on
No, not that I know of.
Okay, I didn't know if that was something they put on something and then released it on its own.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'll have to check that out. I'll look it up. I'll look it up, man.
I know it's the best out of all those other live albums.
What's up, buddy?
But Mark would know that.
Hold on, got my grandson.
So, I think I'm missing a piece from Witchcraft.
You're what?
I'm missing a piece from Witchcraft.
Oh, I don't know. Ask Grandma.
And can you see if the battery's good?
Grandma's gonna have to do that right now because Grandpa's working.
Okay.
You want to come say hi to everybody in Video Land? Okay, bye. All right. Okay, so Limp Bizkit. No, it's funny he says it's got the suicidal tendencies vibes because they covered Suicidal and Slayer when I saw them on that tour on Ozfest. That's the one where he came out of the toilet. And shit.
And he was doing that. I think was it institutionalized. I know he was doing something on Suicidal, and I just But here's the thing, and this goes out to Scribble to make you happy, my friend. I've said this before. I didn't know who the fuck Limp Bizkit was from Shinola, right? And here comes this idiot coming out of the toilet. Every motherfucker around me went completely apeshit for Limp Bizkit. And that was the moment I realized, holy fuck, I'm old. Now I am officially out of touch with the young people. I hung with the young people. I dug Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana. Even though I liked Iced Earth and Nevermore and shit like that more, because I was more metal than grunge. But I still hung with that. But then when Limp Bizkit came out and Korn, that's when I was like, all right, I'm officially done. So, Scribble, I know. You're just like every motherfucker that was around me. I get it. Limp Bizkit was huge. They were huge. And they were huge for a reason. Because of people like Scribble.
Hey, that's a terrible thing to say about Scribble.
No. Hey, believe me, Scribble will be proud for me to say that. Because that guy goes out of his way to let everybody know. Limp Bizkit. I got to bring this up, Scribble. He made it, and here's the thing, Scribble, you're young. Once you get my age, you're going to stop with this foolishness. But Scribble the other day made a video talking about one of the ICP clowns,
Oh, yeah, one of them's a pedophile or some shit?
Yeah, they're blaming him for being a pedophile. And then he did his whole video about how he's not a pedophile, how Kid Rock's not a pedophile, even though Kid Rock had lyrics kind of like that shit, this and that. Look, number one, you're talking to a wall. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Who believes they're pedophile are still going to believe it regardless. My point of the matter is, once you get old, you realize, why the fuck am I wasting my time with motherfuckers that... Because believe me, Scribble, I was just like you. And I am to a certain extent, because tomorrow, and we'll bring this up in the news maybe, tomorrow I got a news report on Black Sabbath Sunday about the war words of Kelly Osbourne versus Dee Snider.
Yeah.
And I go into this whole tirade because Dee Snider, who used to be my hero, by the way, who's a fucking idiot now, says Geezer Butler wrote every fucking lyric for Black Sabbath. Bob Daisley wrote every lyric. Number one, no. Ozzy wrote that I know of, because I know there's more songs. He wrote the very first metal song ever, Black Sabbath. He wrote Fairies Wear Boots. He wrote Who Are You? He wrote the incredible Writ, all right? And then when Eddie Trunk, who's another fucking idiot, had Don Airey on his show, telling Don Airey, yeah, but Ozzy doesn't write lyrics. Don Airey's like, oh no, Ozzy wrote lyrics. When was Don Airey in the band? When Bob Daisley was. Well, I know he was on Never Say Die, but I'm just saying. Ozzy writes lyrics. Sure, he doesn't write a lot of lyrics. But and then Kelly Osbourne, who's such a fucking dimwit. You're not gonna ruin my dad's legacy. Bitch! Elvis Presley never wrote a goddamn lyric or a song in his fucking life. How's his legacy doing? I mean, people with this legacy shit. Look, the only band that suffered. All right, I'll throw it to you, Ian. What band ruined their legacy? I can only think of one. What band ruined their legacy?
Oh, I can think of tons of bands that ruined their legacy, but it didn't ruin their pocketbook.
No, well, I'm talking about bands that were popular that dwindled, and they're not popular anymore.
Well, I mean, shit, there's a shit ton that were popular that ain't popular anymore, but I mean...
But because their legacy was ruined. I can only think of one.
Who's that?
Quiet Riot. I think they're the only band that ruined their legacy because of Kevin DeBrow. Who else?
I don't even think that. I mean, I mean, because Mental Health will live on forever.
But dude, their popularity went because of Kevin DeBrow's voice.
Okay, yeah, no, that's true. I mean, it did. I mean, we both lived through that, and we saw like how huge they were, and then they were like nothing.
They were hated. Overnight. They were hated by everybody. But see, nobody else.
Like I didn't notice the hate with it because I was still. It was like a couple years till I was buying the magazines and stuff. I mean, I was still. I just knew that they were nowhere near as popular. I mean, I knew everybody talked about Mental Health, and nobody talked about Condition Critical or QR3 or
Let me ask you a question here. What band worked the hardest at ruining their legacy, yet they couldn't ruin it? What band would that be?
Metallica.
No, I don't think Metallica is as bad as this one.
Okay, who?
Kiss. Come on. Come on.
Kiss never cared, so. But
they tried to ruin. I mean, they were doing everything to ruin their legacy. And look, they're still selling out Vegas every year. They no band. And look at what you mentioned, Metallica. Well, where are they fucking playing? Goddamn stadiums. A band.
Yeah.
And yes, I will admit, Metallica did a lot of shit to ruin their legacy.
Yeah.
As much as Kiss.
And the more they ruin their legacy, the more popular they got.
And that's what I try to tell people, because people and everybody that says, all right, like Frank Beard just died. I see people even comment, hey, Billy Gibbons should stop ZZ Top. That's it. It's over. Bitch, Billy Gibbons will go out there as ZZ Top and still fill seats. Billy Gibbons goes out there as Billy Gibbons and won't even sell half as much because the casuals don't know Billy Gibbons. They just know the guy with the beard and ZZ Top.
I mean, the guy who replaced Dusty Hill, Elwood, he's got a beard. I bet you 80% of that audience thinks that's Dusty Hill up there.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
They just see a beard like, oh, hey, I saw the original ZZ Top. ZZ
Top's got to hire a drummer now with no beard so they can really fool everybody.
And then they got it, this whole thing, whatever, Violent J with the pedophilia. There's only pedophilia north of the Mason-Dixon line anyway. Half the country doesn't even know what pedophilia is. That's a Tuesday, They don't give a fuck how old that motherfucker is. You know, and only kids listen to that shit. Sorry, Mike Sears and Scribble. Only kids listen to fucking goddamn ICP, man.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you've heard, Ian, but now is the first time in decades rap isn't in the top charts ever.
Yeah,
Like, it's been decades since rap hasn't been in.
yeah. No,
So
no, that's pretty sad. Music
rap
is so
is
bad right now. Even rap's not in the top 10.
rap is dying like rock already died. My music's dead. You're next, Scribble and Mike Sears. Your music's about to die. But hey, I still love my music. Look at all this shit.
Yeah,
This shit's still high in the charts in my house. You
you
know?
motherfuckers all get replaced by fucking K-pop demon hunters and shit.
And nobody even cares about music anymore. It's like
No,
everything's AI. It's like, what? Hey,
no,
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not going to be bothered by shit.
I work with a bunch of like, what is this, Gen Alpha, whatever these fucking things are now. They don't care about music. They don't care about movies. They care about video games and fucking not
Yeah.
fucking women. You know,
And,
you know.
and TikTok.
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking nerd incels that don't fuck, don't like music, don't like movies. Movies are too long. If it's longer than a TikTok video, I can't pay attention. Fuck them. I'm glad we're gonna die soon. Because our day's done.
Look, seriously, and I'm not saying this because I wish I died soon, but if I do, it's like at least I lived the good years.
Yeah,
I'm
we're not
sorry.
gonna miss anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I don't want to exist in a world where what I like is the biggest fucking joke on the planet to everybody. Scribble.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
All right, we got to get back to this because we haven't even got through Scribble's horrible album picks yet.
Oh boy.
Number 2, Dokken Dysfunctional. Dokken meets the Beatles. Yes, please.
Yes, please. That was funny.
That's like if Dokken met fucking Timu Beatles. Dysfunctional. I like about 2 songs on that. That shit, yeah. But his number 1, I think, is even worse. Sometimes I don't know. This maybe it's not the worst Megadeth album, but it's pretty fucking close. System Has Failed. He says, blackmail the universe, kick the chair, die dead enough, my kingdom, back in the day, better than dystopia. Woo-hoo! And also the return of Chris Poland on what, like 2 tracks? Hey man, more power to you. If you enjoy System Has Failed,
I don't even remember that fucking album. I have it.
Yeah.
I still own it. But I don't
I
even
like.
remember it.
There's one song I like off it. Even that one doesn't sound like Megadeth to me, but I like the song.
I have just basically every Megadeth release there is, and I only put on Peace Sells and Killing My Business, and I've been that way for years now. I just don't listen to Megadeth. I only like the early shit. That's it.
Yeah, Megadeth has. I think they have the worst discography of the big 4, in my opinion.
They are very inconsistent. They are, and starting with you, not Countdown, Euthanasia. Countdown was their attempt to do the Black Album, but it was still metal, and there was hints of thrash here and there. But Euthanasia, when it started to really get bad. But Cryptic
And I listen to Euthanasia more than I listen to Countdown.
I don't care. I don't care for me.
Yeah. All right, Spidery Fan 6, kick-ass episode, guys. Love your picks and how different they are, and I fucking love Nostradamus. Remember, I even love Loch Ness off of Angel of Retribution.
Yeah, great song.
Longer and more progressive music has always been my favorite listen to. In fact, I feel Nostradamus was Judas Priest writing playing closer to the style of later Iron Maiden while keeping true to themselves at the same time. Maiden wishes they could write an album as tight and as unique as Nostradamus. On the flip side, sorry guys, but for the life of me, I cannot get into the Stones. Although there are a few that I can listen to, I just can't get into them. Fair enough,
Yeah, whatever, man. As long as you understand the greatness of Nostradamus and Loch Ness, by the way. That's my boy.
Heavy Metal Farmer. I have every studio album from the Stones since '68 except Undercover. I never gave it a chance because of the bad reviews. Really, you don't have Undercover, but you have Dirty Work. Anyway,
Oh.
gonna check it out. Oh, and Ralph is right about their new album. I only liked half the songs on it. I'm still yet to listen to it. I'm still too scared. 2.5 Pounders. I can't wait for part 10 of this series. That's when the real Ralph and Ian comes out, when all the ABBA and Bang Tango albums are spent. All Ralph's picks will be Eminem albums, and Ian finally confesses his love for Steelheart and Trickster.
I don't know Eminem albums, but I should change that.
And I love this. This is great. This is so fucking YouTube. Greg Swenson replied, "Oofa," and then underneath it says "translate to English" for the post. And if you translate to English, it says Roger Gilmore. All right. Smash and Dale says, "Sitting in the bath high as Donald Duck. Wasn't I surprised when Ian started reading some comments of mine? Hail Ralph and Ian."
Hey, you know, that kind of makes a lot of sense. You ever heard Donald Duck talk? That duck is totally stoned. That's right. High as Donald Duck. That's a great one. I hope I remember that. I was high as Donald Duck.
Zachariah says, "Man of War, number 5 ranked. It could go both ways, either top or bottom."
Hell yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Man of War does not discriminate. Be a pitcher or catcher, hail and kill.
All right. Matt Gutierrez. Hey, Ralph, have you given in and listened to the new Armored Saint yet? Ian, I'll see you at the gig with Metal Church.
No, I haven't listened to the No Armored Saint yet, but believe it or not, I've seen some reviews online, and they weren't favorable. But I haven't heard it yet. Have you heard it?
I think I listened to a couple songs. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but it reminds me I need to go back and listen to it. I'm excited about the show because I've never seen Armored Saint. Metal Church, I can take or leave, but I'm hoping the show changes my mind. I hope it's one of those to where I go and all of a sudden shit clicks. I mean, I know it's not like the Metal Church, but maybe I'll hear a song that makes me go back and appreciate it, because Metal Church has just never clicked with me. And it'd be cool to see, the Jack Off King, Ellefson with him, and the new singer. I'll just close my eyes, and listen to him, because watching this guy is just, wow. See you in 4 years, erections. I mean, it's just so fucking cringy, that video I watch with this guy. He's just got a really creepy fucking presence to me. But fuck it, I'll go check it out. I want to see Armored Saint, man. Fuck it, man. John Bush, anything John Bush, I want to go check out. Scott Ricci says, "Where I come from, smack was the slang for heroin, and crack was the name for meth, or crank was the name for meth. That makes sense to me because in Alice in Chains songs Godsmack, Lane sings, your sickness weighs a ton, and God's name is smack for some, and we all know his drug of choice. P.S. Sleep is the tangerine dream of Stoner Doom. Their album Holy Mountain is all right, but Dope Smoker is a cure for insomnia." And then Heavy Metal Rule says crank is also what Dave Ellefson does. And then Greg Swenson put Mark Baldwin failure. All right. Well, there's our reviews from the last episode on YouTube.
Thank you, everybody, for the comments. I appreciate it.
One thing I want to mention, though, man. Hey, help our fucking anal rhythm. We got 805 views on this and 57 likes. Help the channel grow, man. Hit that fucking like button. That shit don't cost nothing, motherfuckers. Hit that fucking like button. God damn it. Or hit the dislike button. Only Rally can see that. Did anybody hit the dislike button on the last episode?
Oh, no. You know what? You can't see that no more.
What? Yep, these fucking sensitive fuck.
They took that away.
let me tell you that you know something I found out yesterday, and it just made me fucking throw up. Because remember, you used to be able to see like who dislikes shit, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that hurts people's feelings," and blah blah blah. Do you know there's now a college? I want to say it's in like Michigan or Wisconsin or some shit, where they're no longer giving out grades because giving somebody a bad grade can hurt their feelings. I'm not even making this shit up.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
your parents are going to pay I don't know how many thousands of dollars for you to go to a school where you don't even get graded because if you don't do your homework or you turn in bad shit and you get a bad grade, it could hurt your feelings. Gee, I have no hope for the fucking youth, man. Zero fucking hope. I love my grandchildren. They're fucked. This fucking world. Jesus Christ. All right.
There'll still be strip clubs in the future for your granddaughter.
Oh, sweet. All right, let's go to the fucking news. The only thing worse than the comments is the news. I love this shit. John Schaefer doesn't rule out New Iced Earth music with Matt Barlow.
That'd
He
be
says
cool.
anything's possible, but I need to be really inspired. Okay, well, maybe you know the next insurrection will inspire a fucking concept album. That fucking traitor fuck John Schaefer. Fucking now he's born again. Eat a dick. Michael Anthony, Kenny Arnoff, and Phil X. Supposedly they're forming a new side band. But what I love about the title of this, perform Van Halen classics at 2006 Drum Off finale. Van Halen classics. Do you think they performed any Van Hagar, or do you think it was like real Van Halen?
Well, how the media is, they call Van Hagar Van Halen classic stuff.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you they didn't perform no Van Hagar. When
Well,
they say
yeah,
they
who
performed
the
Van
fuck?
Halen classics, it was what was it? I know one of them was "I'm the One." Was oh somebody get me a doctor and I'm the one. Yeah, because that's a Van Halen classic, not that fucking Hagar bullshit.
The Van Halen butchered if Michael sang it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because we all know how great his "Somebody Get Me a Doctor" performances are.
He's a horrible, horrible singer. Everybody like points out, well, Michael Anthony is the reason why the backing vocals were so good in Van Halen. No,
Yeah,
he was half of the reason. Eddie Van Halen's horrible voice with Michael Anthony's horrible voice made magic. But you hear
yeah.
Eddie Van Halen alone and Michael Anthony alone, oofa.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that fucking Sammy Hagar gave Eddie Van Halen cancer, but Michael Anthony didn't help.
You know what he also gave him that's worse than cancer?
What?
He gave him the permission to write those Vangina songs.
Symphony X plans to start recording long-awaited new album in September. Are you a Symphony X fan, Ralph?
Yes, I am actually. I like the album Odyssey. It's good.
I listened to a little bit of their first album. Definitely like, you know, more power metal than I usually listen to, but not bad. You like their first album at all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like all this
not
shit.
bad.
I've seen him twice.
Former AC/DC drummer Chris Slade announces his retirement from drumming.
Man,
With
Chris,
heavy,
that guy, you know where he started playing drums?
I think it was 1927.
With
Buddy Rich.
Tom Jones, man.
Was Tom Jones? Yeah, I know he played with Manfred Mann too in the
There's
70s.
there's pictures of Chris Slade with Tom Jones and Elvis. That's pretty
Wow.
bad. Yeah.
But I think it's funny, you know, and no disrespect to the guy, but he, you know, his retirement from drumming. I mean, who the fuck's he been drumming with? The guy hasn't drummed for nobody since the last time he filled in with AC/DC.
That we know of. He probably plays pubs.
And, you know, not a horrible drummer, but I'm sorry, in AC/DC, if you're not Phil Rudd, I just don't give a shit. Like nobody has stood out that's played with fucking AC/DC other than Phil Rudd to me. You know,
You're right. You're right. You know what I watched the other? I haven't watched this in fucking well over 10 years. On my big ass TV in the living room.
what'd you watch?
Let There Be Rock movie.
Yeah. Oh,
What a
you
movie!
want
And you
you
say,
want to talk about Phil Rudd kicking ass?
yeah. Watch Phil Rudd play Let There Be Rock. Let's see Mike Portnoy do that. Let's
Yeah.
see let's say Neil Peart do that. Their arms would fall off.
No, I would say like two of the hardest drummers that that really don't get enough respect. That let's see these other people do it would be Phil Rudd and Marky Ramone. You
Well,
know,
Marky Ramone, yeah.
you could even throw in Tommy Ramone for that
Well,
matter. You
Marky
know,
Ramone, what Marky Ramone did was copy, because I owned the Dust album. He was nothing like he was in the Ramones. And the Ramones,
yeah,
Tommy Ramone showed him to play like that. And
yeah.
that's very difficult playing. I'll tell you another, an extremely underrated drummer that gets no props whatsoever is Chuck Biscuits.
Oh God, you want to me? Chuck Biscuits is like the second coming of fucking Bill Ward.
I've seen him destroy a little tiny drum set.
Oh yeah, he didn't play a large kit, man, but the fucking sound that came out of that.
It
To
was
me,
insane.
yeah, I mean, he's like a mix between like it's like the looseness of Bill Ward, but with the power of John Bonham. I think is the best way to describe Chuck Biscuits.
And with a dick like Tommy Lee. Not a lot of people know that.
There you go. And fucking 1,000 times the drummer of Tommy Lee.
The groupies called them Chuck Biscuits.
But the thing is with Chuck, and Chuck, prior to Danzig, he played. I believe he played with Black Flag for a while, and I know afterward.
I think he was in Sick of It All.
Was he in Sick of It All? I know afterwards he played with Social Distortion. I love Social Distortion, but it wasn't the same style of drumming. I think what he played with Danzig was very distinctive. And that's the sound that most people know. I didn't get that vibe from the other albums I listened to he played on, but what he did on those Danzig albums is just fucking phenomenal.
To me, live, he stood up more than anybody in Danzig. To me, he was the show.
Oh, he was. I really think those first four Danzig albums are just fucking. That's like the next coming of Sabbath to me. I mean, it was just fucking. All band members equally were important and fired on all cylinders. And I mean, just listen to any fucking Danzig album after.
Yeah, with the guy from Prong.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll agree. As much as I love Prong and I love Tommy Victor and Woofa. I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode, but I heard the new Prong album, the new Prong single. Holy shit, is it bad? It's like really bad.
I need to get my iced tea. I gotta get iced tea.
All right. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. Real bad. Yeah, hate to hear it, but man, original Danzig, especially, I mean, speak out in the comments if you got to see the original Danzig band. That shit was amazing. I only got to see the original Danzig. Fucker, did I get to see the original Danzig band? Yeah, I did. Because I did see him on the Danzig 3 tour. So I got to see him once with Chuck Biscuits. Man, that is just great shit. Chuck Biscuits, fucking amazing. All right, see, now we got to wait on Ralph. Now I know what he feels like when I got to take a piss. And the funny thing is, when he gets back from fucking getting his iced tea, I got to go take a piss. But how you doing? What are you guys doing out there? You guys having a drink, having a smoke, having a snort? What are you doing? God, let's see next stories. God, look at this. We're an hour in yet. We ain't even got to the shit we're going to talk about. Talk about value for your money. You guys get some good shit with this show. And but I'm sure there's people who skip ahead. There's some people I've heard that only listen to the fucking news, and they don't care what the fuck we talk about. That's fucking weird.
They all suck.
You're back. Hey, what you want to talk about a stupid fucking band name? Priest, featuring former members of Ghost, now announces its new album. Why would the fuck would you call your band Priest when there's already a Judas Priest? That's like, I'm gonna call my band Sabbath. Or I'm gonna call my band Zeppelin. Come on, think of some different shit, you know?
Yeah. Like come up with something like the Who.
Yeah, yeah. HU. Fucking Polynesian metal at its worst. I don't know. I'll check it out because, old Ghost rules, a new Ghost is fucking ABBA.
Don't insult ABBA like that.
Fucking American version of the Sweet fires back at Andy Scott. Enough of this bullying. Why is there an American band called Sweet? And if you look at them, it's even worse. And Andy Scott's Sweet is bad enough, Stop it. That band's dead.
Not as bad as Andy Scott's Wig. Oh boy.
Oofa. Oh, hey, I meant to ask you. When you went to I saw the review you did for Kansas and Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Were Jefferson Starship on that bill or no?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to find like a set list to see what they played. I was dying fucking laughing because, like, really, you're calling yourself Jefferson Starship and like none of the people are in it, but a guy who was like on the first album and then a guy who was on the last two albums. And then I saw the set list that they were playing. And like half the songs were like Starship, like they're out there playing Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, We Built This City. They were playing a couple of Jefferson Airplane songs, and like the least of their material was actual Jefferson Starship fucking material. I was fucking dying, so I was interested to hear like I didn't know like if you just didn't go in for them, and then from what I saw, it looked like they didn't play on that show.
If they were there, I would have totally went in. I like a couple of their songs.
Oh yeah, I do too, man. Fucking
I got a couple of their albums. I got Octopus. I got Something Zero, the one that has Jane.
Yeah, Point to Zero.
I have that one.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you something to talk about, and then I'm going to go take a piss. But this is something that is affecting not only the hair metal guru, but it's affecting the Decibel Geek podcast right now because they're at this mountain festival in bumfuck Tennessee. And one of the headliners was Bret Michaels, but he canceled at the last minute. So I'm going to let you speak on that, and I'll be right back.
So by Bret Michaels canceling, what's bad about that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, speaking of Decibel Geek, I love them, but Aaron Camaro. Dude, I sent that guy a friend request, I don't know how long ago, and I just checked the other day. He hasn't added me yet. What's going on, Aaron? Don't like Ralph Felicius anymore? But Bret Michaels, I don't get it. Bret Michaels is like, dude, the guy doesn't have a spectacular voice. Sure the hell can't write a goddamn song. It's all fucking looks, man. Bret Michaels would have never made it in the 90s because he had to be an ugly fuck to make it then. But then again, by then he was bald. He probably had a shot still. Hey, Bush and Spin Doctors were big. How is Bret Michaels any worse than those bands? And I'm not goofing on Bret Michaels because I hate Poison. I'm goofing on Bret Michaels because I hate Poison. That may not make sense to you, and it doesn't make sense to me either. But hey, I think Ian broke a record. It's been almost an hour, and he hasn't taken a piss all this time.
I know. Give me a second.
That's some wild and kooky stuff.
Ugh.
Anyway, speaking of our subject matter today, fucking Poison never topped their first album.
Hey, man, that could have been one of my picks.
No way, son. N-O.
No, not in the front. Jump in the back. Why? I gotta show you something.
She's got razzmatazz like a take it
Uh,
outside.
we gotta score some acid and do another fucking. We gotta do Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, and I've already heard that crap.
Oh, but yeah, no, it's so funny. I feel bad for these motherfuckers going to this like horrible festival. Um, like where Brett Michaels is one of your headliners, and then he cancels. I'm wondering if it's like his bandana, got like COVID and couldn't make the fucking plane or some shit.
I like when he had that brain hemorrhage and they took pictures of him in his hospital bed. He still had the bandana on. And he's acting all passed out with a bandana on. That shit was hilarious.
Could you imagine going to a show where Brett Michaels is one of the headliners and you're like, oh, fuck! Yeah, no!
Yeah, I'm saying, man. I'm saying by Brett Michaels canceling, that's a plus. You know?
Hey, that means Bang Tango gets to play a full set, which I'm all for, man.
Yeah. I mean, Bang Tangle's no worse.
All right. Phil Collin says producer Mutt Lange was responsible for probably about 99% of Def Leppard's success in the 1980s. And I agree. What says you, Ralph?
I like Phil Collins more.
I would say that's very true, that Mutt Lange is responsible for that. And I'll say even more so that Pete Willis is 100% responsible for all the good songs in the 80s.
Yeah, no shit, because after Pyromania, there was no Pete Willis contribution.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's so many people who, it's unfortunate, have no idea who the fuck Pete Willis is, or they understand that all that shit was already written for Pyromania before Phil Collin came along.
No, and Pete Willis,
but he's in the videos. Ain't no Pete Willis in those videos that are so famous.
Pete Willis actually played on the album too, not leads, but he does a lot of the rhythm stuff in Pyromania.
Right. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Count Ralph was like a month ago. He sent me a box full of, DVDs, books, and stuff. And one of the DVDs is this Def Leppard called Visualizers. And I don't know why, but last night I was like, oh, let me watch this, Dude, the beginning of it is one of the funniest things I ever saw in my life. It starts with a Joe Elliott interview. He goes, we're not a punk rock band, but we got the punk attitude.
Get the rock out of here.
And then they go in, into Let's Get Rocked. I shit you not. I was like, what is this? A comedy album? When's Dice coming out? I expected Dice to come out in the middle of it. I mean, what the fuck? Well, we may not be punk.
Hickory dickory dock. Post Pyromania sucks a cock. Oh!
Yeah, fucking, oh my God. And then, and then they have that video, Make Love with a Man. I mean, God damn.
Make love like a man.
It's Make Love with a Man. And I'm like, God damn, look at this shit. And then they had this other one. It was like a ballad. I really love you, baby. It was like them trying to do Love Bites again. I mean, look, I listened last night. I was listening to a bunch of those Adrenalize songs.
Oh my God.
Seriously, there's no difference whatsoever between that and Hysteria. It sounds like Mutt Lange made that album too. It's that bad.
Adrenalize was so bad. The first time I heard fucking Slang, I was like, it's better.
That album's god awful too, though.
Oh God.
There hasn't been a Def Leppard album I haven't heard because of people donate. Yeah. I even said recently, I don't want to do Def Leppard no more. Not even the good albums, because I get asked all the time to do High and Dry versus this. It's like, how many times can I talk about High and Dry? It's gotten to the point where my channel's turning into the Eddie Trunk show.
Yeah. No wonder you hate all the fans.
I know.
Just ask you to review shit.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, y'all suck.
Anyway, ex-Wasp guitarist Chris Holmes on his prostate cancer. The last 2 weeks I went through are probably one of the sickest times I've ever been in my life. And I don't know if we hit on this on last episode or not, but Blackie Lawless is now coming out and saying, donate to this and everything. Did we talk about that?
I don't know. Maybe.
But I think since Blackie's a Christian now, I think Blackie should donate all the money from his latest tour to pay for Chris Holmes because that's the Christian thing to do.
Or just give him his publishing.
Yeah, put your money where your faith is. Let's see what a real Christian you are since you can't play fucking Animal. Pay for Chris Holmes. Which man, it's unfortunate, Chris Holmes, what he's gone through the last couple years, and by that I mean living in France. That's got to be worse than anything Blackie ever done to him.
I have faith Chris is going to beat this.
I hope so. It's very sad to see this shit happening to him. And, I'm sure it'll pop up later, but fuck it, we'll talk about it now. Unfortunately, Vivian Campbell's cancer has returned as well.
If only you would leave Def Leppard, all this nonsense would stop.
Yeah. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks. Because a lot of,
You know what really sucks about it? He actually had some kind of surgery to get rid of the cancer and he came back. That's fucked.
Yeah. No, it's just, again, we're getting to this age where, the people that have had this huge impact on our life, all these musicians and shit, they're just at that age where this is the kind of shit that hits you. And it's sad to see, and I wish Chris Holmes nothing but the best, man. He's always going to be seen in people's eyes. In most people's eyes, I should say, as the guy drunk in Decline of Western Civilization Part 2. But the fact is, this guy has been sober for years, for a long time. But now all this shit's hitting him, but it's age. This is the age when all these diseases hit, and it sucks, man.
And he doesn't brag about his sobriety like Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't lie about it like Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like Chris Holmes actually was an alcoholic. Yeah. And he doesn't have a book that he wrote because he was too busy getting drunk and having fun,
Why do you think Sid Vicious never wrote a book? He was high on heroin.
But nothing but the best to Chris Holmes, man. I hope he beats
I love
shit.
Chris Holmes, man. I love him.
Let's see what else is going on here. Oh my God. You want to talk about man, this is a band I love, but you got to call it out when the new shit sucks. It sucks. And the two new songs I've heard from the what is supposed to be for the fifth time the Final Ministry album. They just released the title track, We Hate. Oh my God. It's so bad. And AI videos. And I hate the way this album was sold. At the beginning, it was sold like the last album was going to be with Paul Barker, who hasn't been, who was the main, it was pretty much Paul, it was like the Steely Dan of industrial. It was Al Jurgensen and Paul Barker, who's been absent from the band since the Anastemia, whatever the fuck you want to call that album, in the early 2000s. Anyway, he's like, yeah, me and Paul Barker are going to do an album. And then it comes out that there's only going to be one song, like the last song on the album is him with Paul Barker. And the rest is just modern ministry. And it's all straight up Trump bashing bullshit. And hey, man, we all know how I feel about that shit. But it's like, come on, man. I just want a good ministry song, I want a quality song. I don't care what the lyrics are about or what it is, but I want a good fucking song. And the thing is, to me, it's subpar. It's mailed in fucking, there's nothing inventive. There's no stigmata. There's no NWO, no Just One Fix. It's man, it sounds like a fucking 60-something-year-old man trying to be relevant, but it's mailing it in, and it breaks my heart because I love ministry so much. But what I've heard off of this, it's really subpar to me. Have you heard either of the songs, Ralph?
I have no interest in ministry. I don't think they've released anything good since Psalm 9. Everything I've heard after that's horrible.
All right, fair enough. And we already talked about Jefferson Starship, and I listened to they have a new single called Jetpack. Fucking sounds nothing like Jefferson Starship. The fact that it's even called Jefferson Starship, or there's a Jefferson Starship without Paul Kantner, is fucking retarded. But the new song is fucking horrible.
Or Grace Slick. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Grace Slick came and went, but I mean, really, like
Yeah, but
musically,
she was there during their peak.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But it was really like it was her and Paul Kantner that when Jefferson Airplane, imploded, and Yorma and Jack went and formed Hot Tuna, Grace Slick and Paul Kantner went and formed Jefferson Starship. And it kind of went in and out of like, progressive, weird kind of sci-fi 70s shit to then it became like AOR when they got Mickey Thomas, who I don't give a fuck. Mickey Thomas is an incredible fucking singer.
What was the song he had before Jefferson Starship? He had a hit.
Well, his biggest hit was with the Elvin Bishop Band, was Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
Fooled around and fell.
I mean, what a timeless, incredible song. And then he joined and they did like Jane and all this shit.
Stranger. And, you know that song Stranger?
Oh, that's a good song.
That's a great song, man.
Yeah.
Find Your Way Back.
Yeah, Find Your Way Back. I mean, I even like a lot of shit on, Nuclear Furniture.
Winds of Change is a good song.
Winds of Change, yeah. I mean, all that, and Miracles and Octopus, yeah, great shit.
Well, you could leave what I
oh, Miracles! What a beautiful song.
I have that. I bought that album for $1. Back in the late '70s. Remember Cream magazine?
Yeah.
Remember they always had a page of somebody holding up the Boy Howdy can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Grace. This is late '70s. Grace Slick was holding the Boy Howdy can with her tit exposed. I don't know how they got away with that. I jerked off to that a lot as a little kid.
Hey, the first vagina my father saw was Grace Slick's.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's band opened up for Jefferson Airplane. They played at my father's high school. And my father's band was like big, they opened up for the Buckinghams and these are Chicago area bands and stuff, but in the late 60s. But Jefferson Airplane played Kankakee High School. And she was like teasing them because these are kids, they're not even seniors. I think my dad was like a junior at the time or whatever, or a sophomore. And they're opening up and she had a leather skirt on. And she was making fun of my dad's band because they all wore like the same uniform, almost like Paul Revere and the Raiders kind of bold. It was the 60s, And she's like, "Hey, boys, you ever seen one of these?" And pulled up a leather skirt and showed him her pussy. He's like, "That's the first pussy I ever saw was Grace Slick." Like, that's awesome.
Grace Slick's such a whore.
Oh, yeah, she was. Rob Zombie shared the music video for Black Rat Coffin off the Great Satan album. Did you see that video?
No, that's scribble music.
It wasn't that bad. I kind of like this new.
I gave up on him too. After White Zombie, I don't care.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of hear you, but I like that it's more. It's less robotic, I would say. It's more guitar, bass, and drums, and less like process shit. And that's what I like about it. But oh my God, did you see the video? His wife put out an album now.
Oh yeah, that shit was terrible. I saw the video. What was the video again?
Holy, I Love My Robot.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. What a beautiful woman, though. She is beautiful.
Holy shit. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here now. There's one story I'm excited to get to, but I'm not seeing it now. Oh, did you see the new Down video for Blood Earth?
Yeah, it was all right. It was okay. It wasn't bad. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Man, Phil's gotten pretty skinny, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Wasn't blown away. Wasn't blown, and I love these guys. I've hung out with all these guys.
What are you,
But
Eddie drunk now?
yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, I expected a little bit more, especially for a first single. I just it just the riff didn't catch me. The chorus didn't catch me. I'm hoping the rest of the album there's something else. I'm just saying for like a first, like you're throwing it out there, you're trying to entice people. Maybe my mind will change, but it just didn't like. You know, it ain't no Nola. I'll tell you that. You know. I think I was a little disappointed. Didn't hate it, but just underwhelmed, I should say. Uh, what else we got here?
When is the big beard fad gonna go away?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Everybody's got huge ass beards.
Let's
You
see.
know it's
What
gonna
else?
go away eventually.
Oh, so you hear Ozfest is coming back, but it's going to be a 1 day event.
And you know assholes are gonna travel from around the world to see that
I'm
garbage.
not. I'm not.
I
Where do
am.
you think it'll be? Where would you guess?
Probably California.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and it's weird like how Lollapalooza now like only happens in Chicago. I'm thinking it's going to be a California thing myself. But ultimately, who gives a shit? God, where's the story? Oh, not yet, not yet. Yeah, so Frank Beard passed at 77. Man, that sucks. That sucks. And you know what I didn't know, he was in hospice care when he died.
In his
Uh,
house, by the way.
yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, he really only stepped down like earlier,
Yeah, like
like
a month or
maybe, yeah. But I mean, he went from like being on tour to being in a hospice. You know, which you know, if you guys don't know what hospice care is here in the States, it's pretty much like you're gonna die. There's nothing they can do, and you have like a round the clock nurse or somebody around because they know the end is near. There's no like, you know, it ain't getting better.
I
They have,
told I didn't I think I told you. My friend Rhonda, who I took to see the Dio hologram,
yeah.
she got the worst type of cancer there is, pancreatic cancer. Like
Oh man.
soon after that concert. She got it not even
Yeah.
a month later. 3 months later, she was dead. And I went and visited her because she lived way up in Fort Myers. And I went
Yeah.
to see her at the hospice, and my God, it was so gut-wrenchingly sad.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad I went because she passed away a couple days later, and
Yeah.
she wanted to see me, so I had to make the trek up
Right.
there. It was devastating. It was devastating.
Yeah.
Um,
No, the same thing happened to me. I had a friend who had cancer, and she was in hospice, and it was pretty much the same thing. And you know, you go and you see somebody that you love, that's part of your life, and you know, basically like in a hospital bed in their own home, and like a shell of who they were, and it's hard, and you try. It's a horrible because you got to try to hold it together for them. You can't show what you're feeling, you know, and it's hard and it's terrible, so
yep.
sad.
Yeah. Poor
But
girl.
same as you, I'm glad I went, but it was hard, but I admit, you know I I I don't want to be as horrible as to say it was harder for me, but you know what I mean. I had to put on an act. This person's dying, and same thing. She passed away shortly after I went there, and yeah, that's gut wrenching.
Now
Comes with age.
this girl Rhonda was a marathon runner. You want to talk about peak shape,
Yeah,
and just bam out of nowhere, and 3 months later you're dead. Unbelievable. You know that's why Frankie Benali was very impressive. Frankie Benali lived with pancreatic cancer for over a year. That's pretty impressive
yeah,
to last
yeah.
that long. Because
And
pancreatic cancer is a death sentence.
And that's why when we get to this story, and this is the one I really wanted to talk about, um, and this story I'm so offended by. And I know that's funny coming from me because I'm the guy that said some of the most offensive shit ever to a lot of people online. But to me, I think this takes the fucking cake and really like I really hate this fucking person now because I think this is one of the worst fucking things that can be said. And I'm being dead serious here. I'm not even joking. I think this is absolutely reprehensible. Um, Megadeth's Dave Mustaine reflects on his cancer battle. And he says, God wanted me to be healed now. And I think that is so despicable to like hold yourself in that like, you know, like if you're fighting cancer and you're living at the time, like you were handpicked by God um, to live. And everybody else who dies from cancer wasn't. You know, that you are more important. And that's why God saved you. And I think the fucking ego and the disrespect to anybody else battling cancer. You know, and if you've ever known anybody or had a loved one that's battled cancer, it's just fucking horrible. And the way it eats away at somebody. But Dave Mustaine thinks he was handpicked by Jesus Christ because he wanted to keep him around to make another shitty Megadeth record that everybody thinks sucks. But Jesus thinks he was so good that he saved Dave Mustaine. Fuck you. Fuck. I hope Jesus Christ comes back with the most aggressive form of cancer and it wipes Dave Mustaine off the face of the planet. That's it. That I'm calling a fucking what do you call that? What are the fucking what are those fucking sand dwelling motherfuckers call it?
The Sand People.
Yeah. But what do they call it when God damn it, Slayer had a song about it that I love on Christ
Jihad.
Illusion. Jihad. I want a fucking jihad on Dave Mustaine. Fuck you. I hope you get riddled with this shit and fucking die for saying something as insensitive as that. I think that's just despicable to say. And I'm being 100%.
I really don't see what the problem is. To me, it shows that God has a sense of humor. God wants God wants Dave Mustaine to live because notice, God was very absent when he got kicked out of Metallica. So God wants Dave to live to see how Metallica continues to kick Megadeth's ass in popularity. God's like, no, Metallica's not done yet. When Metallica breaks up, that's when God says, okay, I got no use for you no more.
Yeah, God wants him around so he can make Risk Part 2, the college years. No, fucking no, I just really find that sickening. It's the same thing you see athletes, you know, like, oh, you know, they win like a major award. I want to thank God. Like God picked them over the other team. You know, just it's just mind-boggling.
You know, hey, look, I don't know. Hey, I'm guilty of that, all right? I won a gold medal at the Special Olympics. I'm like, God loves me. He obviously just doesn't like these people in the Special Olympics because he gave them frailties. God picked me. I'm able-bodied. You know, not a lot of people know this, but God was in the room when they kicked Dave Mustaine out of Metallica. God was there. When they came in and go, Dave, you're out of the band. God said, well, that's my cue. And he walked out the door.
I wish God would fuck Kirk Hammett. He should have put fucking CC DeVille in his place just to rub it in. You know?
That would have been funny.
Oh God, fuck Dave Mustaine. I mean seriously, I find that it's pretty bad if you offend me, but I find that very offensive and a horrible thing to say. God wanted me to be
But
healed.
Dave's always been a fucking nutcase. I remember reading interviews in the 80s saying, we're never going to see 1990 because Ronald Reagan's going to nuke us all. And Ronald Reagan is the Antichrist because his name is Ronald Wilson Reagan. All words have six in the title. And his other, some house he lived in was 666 something. And that was Dave Mustaine in the 80s. He's just as wacky as he was back then.
Hey, and we all survived fucking what was that horrible album with Trust? What was that?
Cryptic
Writings. Yeah. We all survived Cryptic Writings and it didn't have one fucking good song on it. Fuck Dave Mustaine. Fuck. I'm so glad Metallica kicked your ass out. I hope you go back to playing clubs, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck Dave Mustaine. All right. Fuck this shit. Let's get into this. What we were gonna do today. What we're gonna do today is we're each picking 5 albums where we believe this band peaked with their first album. And it's kind of this was harder to do than I thought because you think most bands get better with time, you know. They improve on what we do. And some of the bands I think we're going to pick are bands that people love, but really have they ever had an album that stacked up to their first? And where I thought I'd be struggling for 5, I've got a list of 11 because I want to make sure I'm trying not to come up with doubles. I want us to have a lot of different shit to talk about. And this could be another one where we could do multiple episodes. I would think I would have more fun with, like, you know, the albums we love that people don't, continuing than this one. But this is one of those, people might get offended and people might disagree, but it's our opinions. And Ralph, I love what you put now at the beginning of your videos. You what do you say? Like, if you think these two albums shouldn't go against each other, eat a dick, fuck Dave Mustaine. I love that.
Yeah.
You know? That's awesome.
God hates Dave Mustaine. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, Ralph.
God doesn't hate us all as much as Dave Mustaine. All right, look,
All right.
I want to say a lot, other than 2 albums on my list, all these bands did great albums after the first album. I don't know, it's hard to say they peaked on the first album. It's just my favorite they released is the first album, but there's many awesome albums after the first album. But I would agree. Yeah. I just think the first album is the best one.
Awesome. Well, Ralph, why don't you lead us off here? What's your first one?
Well, should I do my honoraries?
Let's save that for after in case we have some crossover.
All right. Let's go to my hefty pick here. Controversial, I know, but this is their best album. The first Kiss album. And I also, every time I talk about this album, I always have to bring up this, which is the original press without Kissing Time. Somebody called John Haynes. I always thank him. Every time I talk about this album, I have to bring this album out. I think this is pretty much a greatest hits album. Every song on here, Black Diamond's never been topped by the original lineup. 100,000 Years, Cold Gin, Not to Lose, I Love, Strutter, Let Me Know, Deuce. That's my first pick. The first Kiss album, I think it's their best album. But yes, Rock and Roll Over is pretty close. A lot of the albums I like more are very close to this one. But this is my favorite album of a band. That's their first album. That's my first pick.
Wow, that's interesting. And I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, oops, I didn't want to do that. I hit the wrong button. I didn't think you were going to pick that by any means. Fuck. Hold on. God damn it. Because I thought there's no way you would go over fucking Rock and Roll Over.
That used to be my favorite Kiss album, but it's been the first one for the past like 3 years or so.
Okay, so you change on that one. All right. Well, here's mine. I know a lot of people might not agree with me. Ralph, you might not agree with me. Um, I'm going with this one, The Cars. There's a lot of Cars songs that I love that came out after this first album, but is I'm talking about albums. I don't think they've ever had one that is as stacked as this one. I mean, there might be one song on the first album I don't like, and that's it. But I mean, you want to talk about fucking hits and amazing. And I'm a big Cars fan. I liked them till the end. I mean, yeah, I think was that Door to Door? Well, until they got back together. You know, Door to Door was their last one. I thought that was their weakest. Uh, but man, how do you top this album? I mean, is this something you agree on or no? Because I don't agree on the Kiss. So what do you agree on this one?
It's tough, dude. In a way, I would say that's the best album, but goddamn, Candio is so close to it, though.
Yeah,
I think every song on Candio is great, and I'm also that was my second concert ever, the Candio tour. That was my first Cars album, so I do have like affinity for it. But yeah, moving in stereo and just what I needed, best friend, girlfriend. I mean, it's packed with amazing songs. In a way, the first Cars album is better than Candio, technically. But like I say, the Beatles is the greatest band ever. But Black Sabbath and Merciful Fate are my favorite songs, my favorite band. Where I think I like Candio more, but technically the first Cars album is better.
okay. All right. Well, what's your second one?
All right, this is one where they never made a good album after this one.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Now you know this. You know how I feel about this shit. This masterpiece right here.
Ah, interesting. Okay. I thought you
It's
were going
the,
somewhere different.
it's the only it's the only heavy metal album by this band before they said, "Hey, we're
It,
white. Let's do blues."
now, well, hold on. Now, is that an album or is that an EP?
No, this is the album. I have the
Okay.
EP too. The On Your
Okay.
Knees EP, produced by Don Dokken. But this is
I the time frame is so weird with that and the way it was released. I didn't know if On Your Knees was after that or before it.
no, it
Okay.
was before, but I didn't even know about On Your Knees till they re-released it.
Right. Well,
I
that's the thing.
think
There's been so many different covers and different
I
versions.
think I think it was Enigma. Let me check here.
Yeah.
I know
The,
I
the
have.
the the one where they got the girl on the stretcher and they're dressed up like doctors.
Yeah,
That's the Enigma one, right?
actually, they don't got the girl on the stretcher. They got what's his face on the stretcher.
Oh,
Jack.
okay.
Jack. What's his name? Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Um, this is a combination of live songs, but it has the EP, which is awesome because the EP, most of those songs ended up on the first Great White. This album just blew me away when I first got it. They were supposed to come down with Judas Priest on Defender of the Faith. I was very excited, but then we ended up getting Kick Axe, which is a cool Canadian band.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've done. Now, I do appreciate I Don't Want to Face the Day, even though that's a cover song. And I like Save Your Love, that ballad. That's about it. That's about the only thing. The thing is, and I can say the same thing about Cinderella. They just we can't be hard rock like we used to be. We got to be bluesy to be credible. You know, I went through all that shit. Remember, like when grunge started to hit, all these bands did Unplugged, MTV Unplugged, to show their bluesier side shit. Hell, even Poison did it. You know, playing the harmonica. It was just comedy. You know, um, and didn't Great White do an Unplugged? They might as well have. But yeah, this EP is great. On Your Knees, and is this On Your Knees? I'm pretty sure it's the On Your Knees EP where Don Dokken produced it. And but this didn't do well. Then they did the second album, didn't do that well either. But then when they went full bluesy with Lady Starlight and Rock Me and crap like that. Then they became popular. Not too popular because they never became a headline arena band. They were more like an opening act band for an arena, and they headlined clubs and small theaters at their peak. But this is another band that started off great, and then they started with their, oh, we need credibility. Let's get bluesy bullshit. Great White, keep it metal, bitches. Right here. That's my
And
second pick.
I need to check that one out and listen to it from start to finish. I remember I went. It wasn't that one. It was the second one. Was Shot in the Dark, right?
Yeah, I have that
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah, that one I'm like, I like half the songs, and then the other half I thought was fucking shitty. And then you get into the later, Great White albums. I think there's like amazing songs, but not amazing albums. If you add it up like track for track, like, oh, that was really good, but this next one's like, So I need to go back and listen to that one to give a fair assessment. All right, so I did the Cars, and you did that. All right. This is one. I hope this wasn't on your list, but it's definitely on mine, and it is the first Cinderella. Uh, Man, do I love this album. This one, this and Kiss Asylum. Those were the first two when I decided, you know what, metal is it for me. That might sound funny to a lot of people because it's definitely more hard rock. But this is when I stopped, like, listening to what was on the radio and the R&B and the stuff that I was into, prior. In junior high, I was like, okay, now metal is it for me. Love this fucking album, and I remember when Long Cold Winter came out, I never even bought it. To this day, I don't know if I've ever heard it all the way through because I heard like the singles. I'm like, and it was all over, so it's like I didn't feel like a need, like I had to have it. But this one I love. I did buy Heartbreak Station when it came out. And again, there's songs that I like. I saw him on that tour open up for David Lee Roth. Um, but Cinderella never beat this shit. I don't even care what they look like on the cover. I thought the videos were fucking amazing. It was a great time. We're talking 86 here. And that shit was it was the era. When you saw the videos for Nobody's Fool and Somebody Save Me and all that shit, it didn't look gay then. It was the times. But I think this album stands the test of time. I think it sounds fucking great. I love it, and I've never heard any Cinderella that comes close to this. Even though, you really only have 4 albums to come, to put it up against. And I don't know if I've ever heard what was the one after Heartbreak Station?
Still
Uh,
climbing.
Still Climbing. I don't know if I ever heard that all the way through. Did you?
Yeah, I actually have a box set of all their albums.
What'd you think of that one?
It's forgettable. I don't remember how it is. I gotta listen
Yeah.
again.
I
Very
remember
forgettable.
around the time that came out, they had the song on the Wayne's World soundtrack. One of the songs I think was off of Still Climbing or some shit. It did nothing for me. I had already moved on. I'm like done. I'm listening to thrash at that point. I'm like, you know. But would you agree that Night Songs is the peak for Cinderella?
It's the only great album they ever did. To me, I equate Cinderella with Great White. It's the same thing. Another band that's like, let's get bluesy. We need
Yeah.
credibility. Fucking you were great as a hard rock band. Man, that song, Somebody Save Me, come on. Can you get better than that?
All
I
right.
mean,
Let me ask you this, because you were around at this time, and this was a big trend with the cock rock bands. Who do you think started the bluesy trend? Because I've got a couple of theories on this one, but I'd be interested to hear your take on, like, when did these cock rock bands start thinking like, oh, I'm fucking, Muddy Waters?
even though it wasn't popular when they turned bluesy at first, I think Great White may have been the first one.
Okay.
I think. I'd have to think about that, but they're the
All right.
first one.
Well, I've
Poison.
got.
Poison even went bluesy. And that was funny.
I was there's two people I blame the most. One is Cinderella, and the other one is Motley Crue. And this might sound funny, but it's so funny because I'll always say this: as much as I think Motley Crue's music is irrelevant, growing up in that era, they were the biggest trendsetters. When they changed from dressing like the Road Warrior to fucking, all of a sudden we're like fucking Cher, we're Las Vegas. That's when all the other bands started dressing like, hey, we're ladies, was after Theater of Pain.
Yeah, like Cinderella.
Then after Theater of Pain, they started dressing like we're bikers now. When they did come Girls, 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 all of a sudden they were bikers. And then all the bands changed and we're not like even look at Guns N' Roses. When they first started, Axl's Hair Is Here. And Girls, Girls, Girls comes out the same year and they're dressed like bikers. Now Guns N' Roses dresses like bikers. You know? Guns N' Roses, I mean, Motley Crue was so influential with horrible music, but to me, they were the litmus test that everybody else followed. And if you listen to Girls, 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 they try to do a lot of like bluesier fucking, it's horrible blues. It's not real blues, it's Sunset Strip blues. But you see all these other bands do it. Great White did it, and then, when the fucking second Cinderella comes out and it's, Seamstress Blues and, all this other fucking shit, Gypsy Road and all this shit, um, but I almost think Motley Crue is more to blame,
Yeah, I'd agree because they were the more popular one. And,
All
and
right.
I blame Mick Mars, really. Mick Mars
Yeah.
is the blues element in Motley Crue, not anybody else.
Yeah. Well, Mick Mars was around before the blues. That's how old he is,
Yeah, true.
All right. What's your number 3, Ralph?
All right, let's take a look. See here. Which one do I want to pick next? Let's go with this one. They've done some good albums since, but the first Anthrax is hands down the best Anthrax album. Hands down, because this is when Anthrax was real. This is when they weren't following trends. This is when they were just being themselves. Where it wasn't an obvious, oh, let's try to be this, let's try to be that. Let's wear shorts and be goofy. This is them being metal. 100% metal. And the sound, I even like the cover of I'm 18, which is the worst song on here. But I don't mind it. But Howlin' Fury's Panic, Death Rider, the greatest Anthrax song. Soldiers of Metal, Death from Above, Panic, Metal Thrash and Mad. This is a perfect album. Anthrax all the way. This is where they peaked. And I'm proud to say, I'm not the only one that thinks that. Though we are a minority. But there are other people out there that think after Fistful of Metal, they sucked. And I wouldn't go that far to say they sucked, but they were never this good ever again. Fistful of Metal would be my next pick.
Well, I disagree with you wholeheartedly, but I will say you have changed my opinion on Anthrax. I'm not a fan of that album. But one thing I never caught on to until after you mentioned it is how much they tried to be Metallica with Among the Living.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that at the time because it was so like, when I got into thrash, Anthrax was the band. Like I heard Slayer and Metallica beforehand, and it was like I couldn't take it. It was too much for a kid that was listening to Cinderella and all this other shit. It was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And I'm still in junior high. And Joey's vocals is what helped me transition into the thrash. So I didn't catch as much, but now in hindsight, like I see, like, whoa, starting with Among the Living, there was definitely, the Metallica influence. But I think Among the Living is a masterpiece, and you hate it.
I hate half of it.
But yeah, no, I can't get into it at all. I don't like Neil Turbin as a vocalist. I think it's like boring Euro metal. Um, but hey, I respect your opinion.
You
It
have
is what
to.
it is.
You have to, or you'll have to suffer the consequence of being a little Nimrod that can't accept other people's opinions.
All right. Well, all right. Well, let me go to one now, and I feel like this is low hanging fruit, but fuck it. I'm gonna swing the bat at it, because it's time somebody says it, and there's a lot of people on our Facebook page that need to accept it, that this is the best they're ever gonna do, and that's Guns N' Roses.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say any other Guns N' Roses album was better than Appetite.
I've heard far too many people defend everything after.
I'll defend stuff after it, but no way is it even close to Appetite. And the reason Appetite is so great really is because of Steven Adler and Duff McKagan.
And Izzy Stradlin's songwriting.
Okay, I'm just talking about the sound of the album.
Oh no, but I totally agree with Steven Adler. Steven Adler's drum sound. To me, he's like a Peter Criss. Technically, there's nothing standing out there, but he was the perfect drummer for that band.
He had the groove. He had that killer groove, and that's what put Appetite over the edge. Is that groove? Listen to the groove in Mr. Brownstone. I mean, that's a stinky killer groove, man.
Oh yeah, and I remember it was so funny. I remember when this came out in '87, listening to it, I thought they had two different singers because of how Axl would sound on some songs and stuff. I was like, who's the other guy singing? Is it that the black guy? Is it the guy who thinks he's Keith Richards? Like who's the other singer? I honestly thinking that. I remember sitting in my school gymnasium, like playing this on the boombox and shit, because it was a big deal. And this is before, I got into this before Sweet Child of Mine, which a lot of people can't say. You can. You saw him. Fuck, you saw him on the strip, But I bought this off the strength of Welcome to the Jungle,
I had this song before Welcome to the Jungle was ever on MTV. Welcome to the Jungle was on MTV maybe like 4, 5, 6 months after I bought this album. And I gotta admit, I bought this album because of my friend Ronnie. I've told the story. I saw Guns N' Roses in 1985, 2 years before this album came out. I went to my friend Ronnie's house, and he had on cassette Appetite for Destruction, and he had the first Faster Pussycat on cassette. And I was like, oh my God, I saw Guns N' Roses, put that on. And then after we were done with Guns N' Roses, he goes, boy, you like that, you're going to love this. And he put on Faster Pussycat, and I was like, what the fuck's this shit, dude? Seriously? Fuck this. God, that album's horrible. But Appetite blew me away the first time I heard it.
Yeah. I love Faster Pussycat, but that first album, I like two songs on it. I Wake Me When It's Over, I think, is a cock rock masterpiece. The first one though, it's like I like Bathroom Wall and like one other song, and that's it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But your number on the bathroom wall. That voice drives me nuts.
Oh, see, I love Take Me Down.
What a horrible.
But you like Sean Killian, everybody.
I love Neil Turbin.
Yeah. But yeah, with Guns N' Roses, it's like, God damn, it was so good. But man, talk about a band that's so overrated, and then still just like turn on the legacy. You still, how many years has it been the three that people deem important, and they haven't put out shit that anybody cares about? I mean, they put out those two EPs that like hit like a wet turd. You know,
Yeah, it doesn't
nobody.
matter. It doesn't matter. They're ruined. Their
Yeah,
legacy's not ruined. They're still playing stadiums.
yeah, and they still can't do shit without fucking Izzy Stradlin. Some shit never
And
changed.
on top of that, Axel sounds like complete garbage now, and they're still filling stadiums.
Yeah. But you know what? They play at Ozzy's thing? They did Junior's Eyes, right?
I liked them there. They did Junior's Eyes, they did Never Say Die, and they did Sad Bloody Sabbath. And I liked their covers. I thought they did a good job with those
Hey,
covers.
they play Junior's Eyes better than Black Label Society.
Oh God,
Uh,
that was terrible.
that was terrible. Terrible. All right. What's your next one, Ralph? What's your fourth pick?
Oh fuck, four?
Yeah.
I thought I already did. I thought I was up to three.
Yeah, no, you did three.
Well, I'm gonna have to do a six. All right. If we're gonna get technical, this ain't their first album. It's their first EP. Merciful Fate, this is the greatest thing they ever released.
Oh, wow, okay.
The Merciful Fate EP. But if you're gonna tell me no, EPs don't count, then I'll have to say Melissa. This album, let me tell you something. Don't Break the Oath, the follow-up. I don't think there's ever been an album as good as Don't Break the Oath since Don't Break the Oath. This is better than Don't Break the Oath. So technically, I like the EP more than Melissa, but goddamn. And this is, I was saying this the other day on my channel. There's only a handful of bands that were life-changing to me. Kiss, Van Halen, Judas Priest, when I heard Unleash the East, and this. Those were the four that totally, I don't think any bands have changed me as much as, Merciful Fate and, original Black Sabbath. But this album is flawless. Evil, Into the Coven, Satan's Fall, Black Funeral, Melissa. I never, ever, ever, ever get sick of listening to this. And it's been, 43 years now? And I still play it on a regular basis. But seriously, my favorite release by them is the EP, Doomed by the Living Dead, Devil's Eyes, Corpse Without a Soul, and Nuns Have No Fun.
Which one did you hear first? The EP
this,
or
I heard this. I heard the EP before this even came out.
okay?
I was at my friend's rehearsal. He was in a band called Iron Cross, and they had a turntable attached to Marshall amps. I swear to God. And he came in with this in 1982. He came in and he goes, "Oh, you got," and I'm looking at this album, and he puts them on, and it's Corpse Without a Soul, which I never heard a song start like that. It's the most insane opening to this day. There's never been a crazier opening. And I'm looking at this album while he's playing this. I'm going, what the fuck? And I'm turning around. Right when I turn around, I'm looking at this freak here. King Diamond, I hear the vocals. Satan has taken. And I've never heard vocal. I was like, a lot of people are like, I like Merciful Fate, the band, but the vocals I can't get into. In a heartbeat, I got King Diamond's vocals right away. I never heard anything like it. It was so bizarrely unique and great that seriously, people that don't like Merciful Fate or King Diamond's vocals, you are missing the essential happiness. I understand now what people that love U2 like. They understand Boner. I don't. But Boner gives them pleasure. I don't understand that. Just like you don't understand the greatness of King Diamond. And come on, if we're going to get technical and scientific, King Diamond's better than Boner. Merciful Fate, really the EP, but if we're not counting EPs, then Melissa.
Yeah.
I still got two
man.
more, though. Two more very important ones.
Oh, that's fine. No, but I just want to say, like, I give you amazing credit for that you caught that on the first listen. Because that's something like I love now. Like truly love Merciful Fate and King Diamond. But on first listen, I just no way. I couldn't accept it. I'm like, this isn't fucking real. This isn't music.
You know why? You know why that is, Ian? because by
Right.
the time you heard Merciful Fate, you were bombarded. You were bombarded by MTV. I didn't have no MTV in '82.
Right.
I didn't have none of
Right.
that shit. I just relied on whatever the hell was on the radio and the limited amount of. I had about maybe that much vinyl at that time, because I was broke. But I didn't have a lot of experience in music that when I would hear something like that, oh, it's another album before I forget. Welcome to Hell, Venom is another one. I
Yeah.
just thought of that album was never topped by Venom, and I love a lot of the albums like Black Metal and At War with Satan after. But I'm just saying at that time, hearing Venom, Merciful Fate, Celtic Frost, Raven, Rods, it was a new world to me, and it was so special. Because see, back then it was really special to be into something nobody knew. That's unheard of today. You got to be into shit everybody knows. Yeah, I'm talking about the youth today. They got to like what's popular, you know?
Yeah.
But not me, man. I just went out there and hunted. And not every time I was successful. I bought like that stupid Grateful Dead album I bought. Sometimes I would buy shit that sucked because the album cover was cool. Demon. You ever heard of Demon?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the same band.
That
Hey,
that band,
hey,
that band sucked.
I bought fucking Pretty Boy Floyd because the album cover.
And that album cover's stupid.
I thought it was cool to me in junior high.
It looked like an excerpt.
It looked like Kiss to me. It looked like
yeah.
that
It looked
Kiss
like Kiss. It looked like Kiss got Magic Mountain during Kiss Meets the Phantom.
But no, seriously, I mean, it was one of those things like with Merciful Fate and King Diamond, and I've talked about this on the show before. I bought Abigail when it came out because it was satanic and it was like, like it was dangerous shit. But I'm like, oh, this sucks. But then as I went on and on, I was like, why do so many people like this shit? But I don't. Like, I had to like force myself to keep giving it a chance. But then when it hit like fuck, like, bam. And then I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. But it took me a while, man. And now I love it, So you never know.
My chick loves Merciful Fate.
All right. Well, I'll go to my next one. And this is one I'll fucking go to my grave. I know a lot of people love this band. You love them way more than me. But they'll never top this. And that is Ghost.
That's the one I picked in my honorary mentions.
This is one when they came out and I first started reading about them, I admittedly like wrote them off right away because I'm like, the last thing I want is another gimmick band, another fucking Kiss, another fucking Slipknot, another like, oh, we have costumes and we do this. It's like, yeah, what a way to mask, subpar fucking music is to have a fucking gimmick. But then I started reading like people I respected, like Phil and Samo, is like, oh, because I read about what they were. I thought it was gonna be some horrible European bullshit, and then Phil and Samo was like, this band's kick ass, and I was like, Phil and Samo likes it, I'll check it out, and then I was like, oh, where was this? And it was so like evil, yet accessible. There was like this is where I truly see like the BOC comparisons is on this album.
Yeah.
And now they are like, K-pop demon hunters, like the worst possible, like pop music, like it's Phil Collins metal. Like you call fucking, Testament Disney thrash, fucking Ghost is like fucking Phil Collins metal now. It's so fucking horrible and it's like Debbie Gibson goth, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'll take Phil Collins metal over Phil Collin metal.
Yeah. I'll take fucking No Jacket Required over any fucking Ghost album that came out after the third one.
Was that the one with Susu Studio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it was on that one. What a
Exactly.
fucked up song. What a killer. What a killer crappy song.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what Ghost is now to me. Ghost to me is now like Genesis. I can't dance type of shit. It's fucking horrible. And I will say I've seen this band live multiple times. Fantastic show, incredible show. You go there, you're gonna be entertained. But the fucking new music they put out is fucking pop garbage. It's garbage. It's adrenalize level Def Leppard shit compared to this album. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. But what sucks is these fucking horrible kids that these fucking kids that buy this shit, and it encourages them because when you buy the shitty albums, they're like, oh, that's what's good, so we're gonna do more of that.
You were that kid when Turbo came out. You know that.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. And what did I get for it? I got Ram It Down.
You got parental guidance.
But it's just like, oh fuck, what's that? Marry the Ghost or Marry Fucked a Goat or whatever is like their biggest song, and I'm like, what the fuck? How is it fucking
I like
Saint
that
Ritual?
song. That's a good song.
Oh my god.
Mary on the Cross.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking terrible.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Yeah,
You
no.
hate it, I like it.
I mean, to my ear, I mean, hey, you fucking K-pop demon hunters love this shit. More power to you.
I don't like K-pop. Look, this hands down. I pulled it out. This is their best album. As I said earlier in the show, there's a lot of these bands that release great albums afterwards, but none were as good as this. And I will tell you the funniest story about Ghost. Okay, when this was new, I didn't know nothing about Ghost. I used to rehearse next to a black thrash band called Devastator. Great. Well, they were kind of Nazis, but whatever.
Black Nazis?
Yeah, they were. They were. Look how retarded it is. They were Nazis, yet they were Cuban. Oh, communism is different than socialism. Look, socialism, communism, these nuts. It's both the same shit. But anyway, let's get off that. I don't want to talk about
We're
that.
talking about Santana?
Well, anyway, they go to a metal festival, maybe Milwaukee Metal Festival or something, and they come back, and all they did was praise. Dude, we saw this band called Ghost. The guy was dressed like a pope. They were fucking amazing. I was like, cool. And then I heard this, and I went out and bought. This is the picture of this, by the way. And this picture of this sounds amazing.
Oh, nice.
I fucking loved it. Then they became huge. And Devastator's like, oh, fuck Ghost. Because you got to remain underground or else you suck.
Yeah. I don't subscribe to that, but
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the last two Ghost albums. I thought Prequel was their last great one. And I love Melanora. I didn't like the second one. I like three of their albums. This one, Melanora, and Prequel. The other two had a couple songs I like, but overall, this is hands down their best album. Ritual, God, everything on here, really. Elizabeth, Death Kneel, everything on here. This is a masterpiece. The first Ghost album. I totally agree with you. It's their best album.
All right. Well, do your fifth one then.
I got a 5 and 6. Let me do my 5 and 6 now. All right?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Again, this band released a lot of great albums afterwards, but their best album, hands down, is the first one. Iron Maiden's 1980 album. Now looking back in retrospect, this is the greatest album from 1980, my favorite year of music. And this is better than every Judas Priest studio album. That's right, I said it. Iron Maiden's first album.
You'll take that over fucking
Sad Wings. The only
You'll
album
take it over Stained Class?
Yes. The only album I wouldn't put it over is Unleashing the East. That's it. But yeah, I'll put it over Stained Class. Remember Tomorrow, Charlotte the Harlot, Transylvania, Strange World, Prowler. There's another album that was kind of life-changing too when I first bought it. But also at the same time in 1980, I thought Def Leppard's On Through the Night was the best album that year. you know? So that's why I can't say this is really life changing. But in retrospect, this album blows away Onto the Night badly, and I still love Onto the Night. But this right here is their best album. Now, my sixth one. This one's going to be very controversial, but I don't give a fuck. I know a lot of people will say, oh, this album's their best, that album's their best. No, well, that's your opinion, and I respect it. But to me, this is the best Van Halen album, hands down. I love Fair Warning. Shit, I love two more than Fair Warning. I love Women Chosen First. I love Diver Down. And I love 1984. But as far as more bang for your buck, this is the most kick-ass front to back Van Halen album ever, and it changed my life. It's one of the 4 or 5 bands that changed my life. On Fire, greatest Van Halen song ever. Ice Cream Man, Feel Your Love Tonight, Atomic fucking Punk. I'm the One, ain't talking about love. Running with the Devil, Feel Your Love Tonight, Little Dreamer. This right here would be my favorite of all the first albums from anybody, because this is the greatest debut album, even better than the first Sabbath album. Van Halen 1 is the greatest Van Halen album, in my opinion. I know a lot of you will say Fair Warning, which is fine and dandy, because I love me some Fair Warning. But this one's better. And so is Van Halen 2 than Fair Warning. All right, there you go. I got some honorary mentions I'll talk about later.
All right. Well, fuck it. I'll do 6 then too, because I picked so goddamn many. Now here's one I'll say that was directly inspired by you, Ralph. Uh, because I thought I had my mind made up for years, just like you used to say, that your favorite Iron Maiden, it was my favorite Iron Maiden, which is Killers. And you said it was Killers for years, and then it was Iron Maiden, the first one. You changed your mind. For years and years, I thought that the second album by this band was my favorite. And you said, nah, it's the first one. Then the more I listened to it, I was like, you know what? The Mexican's right. And it's this one.
Oh, yeah. I gotta agree with that. Oh God, really? Really? You thought Last Command was better than that?
I came on board with Wasp with Inside the Electric Circus. We got to look at timeline and age. I bought Inside the Electric Circus and Somewhere in Time on the same day. Love that one. And then I went on Columbia House and I got the first two. And I just really fell in love with Last Command. Loved it. I love this one as well. But for whatever reason, I really love Last Command. But then as years gone by and the more I listened to it, and I'll tell you another one that was kind of like a nail in the coffin is how many times I've watched Wasp live at the Lyceum, which was on the first tour, so they're only doing, songs off the first album. Love this fucking album. And man, I've really gone back and listened to fucking like 80s Wasp lately. Like just fallen in love with it. And I'll tell you what, like now I listen to them and it's kind of like perfect, like chronological order on when they came out is what is my favorite. And yes, I'll take Inside the Electric Circus over Headless Children. To me, there's some turds on fucking Headless Children. I think the cover Real Me's a turd. Rebel in the FDG is a fucking turd. I like Inside the Electric Circus more than fucking Headless Children. But the stuff on on that I love, and I love Live in the Raw. A non-live album. Fucking Manimal. Half beast, half man. That's some great shit. What you got there? What are you getting ready to show?
I just remembered another debut album I forgot about.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's one that you helped change my opinion on that.
Well,
Because I'm like,
maybe one day you'll realize parental guidance sucks.
probably not, but you never know. All right, and then I'll go, okay, if I got to pick six, it's funny because this is an album that you mentioned while you were talking about other albums. This is one that was on my list, and that is the first Venom. I just listened to this album in its entirety today, and I was like, God damn, it's so primitive and so raw. And as much as, I love black metal too, but this one, holy shit, Witch an Hour and everything, it's just like, if you go song for song, and that's what you got to do. There's some great songs on some later Venom albums, but song for song, you want to talk about an album that's fucking stacked, is Welcome to Fucking Hell. Holy shit. I mean, if you're only going to own one fucking Venom album, you might as well buy this motherfucker. Even though black metal, is iconic as well. And, it's the name of a whole subgenre of fucking metal that has little to do with Venom. God damn. Welcome to Hell. That would be my number 6 if we're going to 6, man. Love this fucking album. Were you did you get this as it came out, or were you late to the game on this one? Or?
I was a little late. I owned black metal first.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I did own black metal first. I read the back of black metal where he's like vomit into the priest's mouth and shit. And I was like, I needed this. And I love black metal. Black metal is a very extremely close second to Welcome to Hell. I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck. But Welcome to Hell just slightly towers because some of the songs are a little more vicious.
Yeah. How did you? Well, even at the time black metal came out, of course you're not hearing this shit on MTV or on the radio. Did you find out through magazines or friends?
Yeah.
How did you okay, I need to check out this band?
Black metal, it was seeing the album, no magazine, no nothing. Just taking a chance.
Yeah.
But I used to go to an import shop called Open Books that used to sell Kerrang magazine. So I discovered a lot of bands through Kerrang magazine. And then, and I would go to the same shop. And, that's where I discovered Slayer, Show No Mercy. I remember seeing Slayer in magazines back then. The infamous shot with Jeff Hanneman's girlfriend in blood, and I bought Show No Mercy because of that, and Raven, Celtic Frost, all that shit I would buy at the import shops because of the album covers, really. And, I would read an article here in Kerrang, here and there. And that's what separates me from, Ian's MTV generation bullshit, where I was more into discovering music without looking at it. Without, I was into music, not into, how pretty Kiss were on Tears Are Falling with the little glittery bullshit, But then again, if I heard Tears Are Falling without the video, I still feel the same. I still feel it's fucking horrible. It's just like, I can't get into a song. I don't care how good the song is. If you're going to call the song Tears Are Falling, I'm not going to like it. Because there's no way you can write a good song called Tears Are Falling. There's just no way. It's the same thing with Indians. Cry for the Indians. What kind of wussy shit is that to say during a thrash song? Cry.
Hey, man, they suffered, man.
Cry for the Indians. Yeah, they suffered. They were fucking cannibals. That's the one thing everybody fucking does. Nobody talks about what the Indians were doing. They were fucking cannibals. Do your research. They weren't great people. Fuck them. White man kicked their ass because the white men were better.
All right, John Wayne. All right, well, there are some albums where we think the band's peaked. We said we are going to do 5. We ended up doing 6. Obviously, from our list, we can do a part 2 to this. If you guys, like it, if it gets enough hits, I know we can come up with some more. I still have, plenty on mine. I know Ralph does on his.
Yeah, I pulled them out. I'm going to talk about them.
All right. Well, save it for the next one if we do a part two.
Oh, come
But
on. I want to talk about him now.
okay. I mean, do you want to do all the ones you got and all the ones I got? You want to
Yeah,
extend this shit?
you know what I'm going to do too. This is such a good subject matter. I'm going to
Okay.
leave all these albums out to make a video on my Almost Human channel that nobody watches this shit. So it'll be new to them. It'll be new to them over there, you know.
All right, go ahead. Give me another one.
All right, maybe I'll save it for my video. I'll save it for my video.
Okay.
I got a bunch here. I got a
Okay.
bunch here.
What do you want to go through them now, or what? Or you want to save it for your show?
I'll save it for my video. So stay tuned whenever the fuck
Uh,
I get around with it. 'Cause
all right.
I
There you
got
go.
some donations to do before that.
All right. Well, I want to put something to you this week before we go into pick of the week. I don't want a blind fucking grab. I want something that you've listened to recently that's grabbed your attention. You know that's got you excited.
Oh, I got
Not
it.
not a random.
And I have it over there because I was just listening to the vinyl.
Okay, let's see it.
I love this band. And on my channel, I just did an episode about this band of obscure bands I love. Thunderfire.
The
This
fuck is that Japanese shit? What the fuck
no,
is
no,
that?
they're English. They're an English band.
Oh, it
And
looked Japanese on the front.
this fucking album, imagine like, you know, kind of like traditional heavy metal with kind of Lemmy-ish vocals.
What year is
Uh,
this shit?
1983, I believe.
Okay, right on.
And the reason I discovered this band, my favorite compilation of all time is an album called Metal Hammer. And that's where I discovered Raven. I discovered Anthrax was on there. I never and Metal Thrash and Mad's on there. The band Satan, the Rods, and this Thunderfire. Now this, I was like, oh my god, the song Danger. I was like, this is like the greatest song ever. And this was so hard to find. I couldn't find this shit, and
Where'd you get it?
It was on Racer Records.
Oh, Road Racer. When it was
Yeah.
Road Racer.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't find this anywhere. I finally bought this on the internet. That's the only place I can find this shit.
Where'd you get it on eBay?
I believe it was eBay, yeah. In
No.
great, amazing condition. Thunderfire. Check out the song Danger from Thunderfire. This is what I've been cranking this a lot lately. I love it. You know,
Awesome.
another thing I love too that I got that I was listening to today too. Um, this right here. It's the live Kansas album 2 for the show. Now this is a special CD where it brings a CD of songs that were not on the original double live album, and this was a present actually. You know who got me this?
Who?
A racist from Boston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is another amazing live album that's not very talked about, but it came out during the peak of live albums in the 70s. And it did do well back then, but I love Kansas. But those two I've been cranking a lot lately.
All right. Oh, you know what? I can't believe. Holy shit. Tells you what alcohol will do. You know what I can't believe we haven't talked about?
What?
What's the most amazing thing that happened in hard rock music that we didn't talk about this week? Come on.
Like, I don't know. What?
Fucking Richie Blackmore coming out with Deep Purple.
Oh, that man. You know what? I almost cried. It was so beautiful. It was gorgeous. I loved it. Richie was so cool too. And oh my God, he played well. And it was just amazing how him and Ian Gillan got along on stage, and
Uh,
it
well,
was beautiful.
I tell you what, I thought he played like fucking shit. But it
No,
doesn't matter.
that's because you don't like Richie Blackmore.
No, 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 no.
He played
No,
well. He played
no.
well. He didn't do nothing.
You think so?
He improvised like he always does. He never plays the solo like the album.
Yeah. I think he seemed to be like struggling. physically and everything. But I'm not saying that as like a anti. I mean, the man's 81. He's suffering from health shit. But the fact that he came out there and did it, I was like you. I mean, I didn't cry, but it fucking hit me. I'm like, this is fucking amazing. That he put out the olive branch. That the band accepted it after all the fucking mudslinging and all the shit they did against each other. And to me, it doesn't matter what the fuck he sounded like. Just the fact that he came out there. And yeah, it's the most predictable fucking song and all that shit. It doesn't matter, man. Richie Blackmore came out on stage with Deep Purple, and I think it was fucking beautiful. I think it was fucking beautiful.
You know what was really beautiful about that, Ian?
What's
That
that?
people in the audience shot it with their phone. That's beautiful. Or else you would have never seen it.
Hey, just to hear about it, and I kind of wondered, because knowing like the history of this band, so he announces it before it happens. And I'm like, man, did Richie Blackmore just shoot himself in the fucking foot? Is this still going to go down?
Yeah, but that was hysterical how he announced. Did you hear how he announced it? It was hysterical.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about it. To me, was perfect.
He said, "Don't tell anybody. It's a secret."
Yeah. Yeah, everything about how he announced it, how Ian Gillan handled it on stage, on everything, and the way Ian Gillan's like, I'm going to see you at the bar after the show. It was beautiful. It was heartwarming. It was incredible. I don't think he played that well. And I think a lot of people agree on that. Doesn't matter, doesn't change one bit
Played
about
fine to me. He even did a couple of sweeps. It was awesome. I thought he played perfectly.
And that's fine. That's fine. But to me, like he even said in his announcement afterwards, it wasn't about how I played. It was about being out there, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I think it's fucking great. It was really nice, and I did not see that coming at all. I would not have checked that as things that are going to happen in 2026, that was going to happen. But I think it was absolutely beautiful, and fucking A, man. Deep Purple, love it, love it. All right, well, I'll go to my pick of the week, and my pick of the week. I know you're gonna fucking hate, so it doesn't even.
Why do you always pick crap? We always do. Pick something good for a change.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
But goddamn, every fucking week.
And and there's a lot of people on our page who like this album, but
yeah, they all
I
suck too.
I know you're not going to be one of them. One Assassination Under God, Chapter 2 by Marilyn Manson.
I got to say something about Marilyn Manson. By the way, I've done Marilyn Manson track by track. Have you seen it? I did two of them.
I haven't seen those.
One was Portrait of American Family, and the other one was The Golden Age of Grotesque, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
God awful. But there is a couple songs I liked off of. I've always liked Cake and Sodomy. I always thought that song.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song.
I like the song Get Your Gun. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I mean, those are not two of my favorite albums, but there are songs that I love on both of those albums.
But I'll tell you, Henry Rollins said the coolest shit about Marilyn Manson the other day. He said, Marilyn Manson comes out crucified on a cross of TVs. And people are like, Marilyn Manson comes out crucified on TVs in the early 80s. It would have been everywhere. Now, nothing shocks anybody anymore. Yeah. The only person that shocks anybody today is Donald Trump. No musician knows how to shock anybody.
Yeah. No, and I still say to this day, I mean, it's unfortunate because, you got to see so many iconic 1980s tours that I didn't. To me, even beating fucking Kiss on the greatest show I ever saw was Marilyn Manson on the Mechanical Animals tours. As far as like a stadium, and that was the tour. He came up on the TVs and the fire. But I'm saying as a visual show, it was mind blowing. It was like harken back to the '80s in production value and shit, like giving the audience something for their dollar. I'll never see anything top like that at that level. Um, that being said, I've always, since I first I hated him at first, and then I got into Manson. And he put out an album like right around the beginning of COVID called "We Are Chaos," and I was like, oh, it's produced by Shooter Jennings, Waylon Jennings' son, and it was an album like you're like, oh, production value. The production value sucked. I thought the songs were subpar. I was like, I was like, when he comes back, if he doesn't do something like Antichrist Superstar, it's over because nobody's going to give a fuck. And what does he do? He comes out with an album that's nothing like it, but it was to great sales, to great reviews. People are like, okay, this is really good. I was like, God damn, he followed his instinct, and it worked. And even after all the accusations, all the rape bullshit, all this shit, you start seeing a resurgence of Marilyn Manson. He was clean. He lost weight. He was singing better than he had been in years. And the album did very well. And then he released this sequel to it. And again, not what I was expecting, but I think it's high quality. I put it up against, the earlier shit in his career that I love. And I'm a big fan of it. And I'm glad other people are enjoying it too. And I'm really surprised. And this, I'm really surprised 2026 has been like a year like, hey, there's some fucking releases I really like here. And I love the last Deep Purple. And I know there's some fucking haters. I was surprised. You and I have shown our love for the last two Deep Purple albums, and other people are like, oh, Ian Gillan can't sing and shit. I've been loving this Simon McBride era of fucking Deep Purple, But the new Marilyn Manson, man, I'm very happy with. I think it sounds great, and that is my pick of the week.
Boo!
So now
Boo!
Yeah.
Hiss!
And now
Hiss!
Bring out your dead. But now we go into fan of the week, and I'm going to throw it at you, Ralph, because I've been very absent on the page lately. So I want to throw it to you, to somebody that you've seen on the page lately that you think's like been upholding, what a good fan is, and somebody that's adding, contributing, and sticking out. Who's sticking out to you lately on the page?
There's a guy, I don't know his last name, called Devin, that's always putting up like classic or crap. He's
Are you talking about Devin Dugan?
I guess, I don't know. I'm the worst with names, but it's a guy that's always putting up videos still on the, classic or crap shit. So I like his contribution. I also want to give a shout out to Scribble. Scribble's been a loyal listener to us that, I'm constantly bashing on shit he likes.
Yeah, and he's a pedophile sympathizer.
That's a good one.
No, but that's a great, because there's a lot of people that don't like that, and Scribble's like, I don't care. I don't care. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids.
Violent J. You know what the J stands for? Pedophile.
yeah. The J is silent.
Yeah.
It's like JPED.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people pronounce it as J pedophile, but the J is silent.
Yeah, yeah. At least Scribble, has the guts to come out and admit, like, the kids had no business wearing that much makeup.
Yeah. Scribble's the number one guy out there going, do not release the Epstein files. Because violent pedophiles in it. I mean, Violent J. But yeah, I love Scribble. Scribble's all right.
And Scribble did say that Jesus did save. Dave Mustaine. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our episode this week.
You know, Jesus also saved Violent J from getting arrested for pedophilia because Jesus loves everyone.
Exactly. Including Carlos Santana.
The biggest pedophile there is. Anybody that loves Che diddles kids. Come on. It's a fact.
You heard it here first, kids.
They want to be like Che because Che diddled kids.
All right. And on our next episode, we're going to have Wayne Noon here because he's the only guy more hated than me.
You know, Wayne keeps getting bashed, man. They bashed him again.
That's because you've got the worst fucking fans on your show. You've got the worst, most triggered.
No, that's not true because him getting bashed, there were comments of people afterwards going, "We love Wayne." So there's a lot of Wayne defenders too. But man, he gets bashed a lot. And Wayne is awesome. He doesn't do shit. What Wayne does, he reads the comments of the people in the penis gallery, which is like, that's a contribution, you know? But whatever. People
don't like Wayne because he's bald. People don't like bald people. You know?
I'm not talking about that other guy anymore. I thought I told you that.
If Wayne had hair, more people would like him. Wayne needs a wig. If you put a wig on Wayne, he'll get a lot less hate.
Remember that time you told our ex-goals, the only way they'll allow you back is if you start wearing a wig.
I can't afford one. Good times. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any ideas for future episodes, don't tell Ralph. Because it'll be
yeah, shove it up your ass. I mean, why won't people do their own goddamn show? I don't go anywhere and say, hey, you know what you guys should do? I never do that. I never go anywhere and tell anybody what they should do. You know what I do?
Yeah.
When I feel like, hey, I want
you do what you're paid to do. That's what you do.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting paid here.
No, I know. No, I mean on your show.
Yeah, but I don't get paid here. So you can stop me from getting paid bullshit. Because I do this shit for free.
I know, so do I. What would interesting thing here? What's an episode that you would like to do for a future episode? What's a topic you would like to do? That's not an album review. I know you're kind of burned out on like a straight up album review. What's a topic you would like to do?
Well, I started one called Obscure Bands I Love. I love that one. I love doing that. And I'm gonna do an episode soon about bands that never topped their first album. And I'm taking all the credit for it. Nobody will know because nobody over there watches this.
Ain't nobody watches shit.
No, man. People that watch me have short attention span. 2-hour show. Fuck that noise.
Who's the one guy that I really wanted to have on this show? Who is he's a big contributor to your show, and he's like, oh, I can't listen to no podcast. That's too long.
Joseph Manella.
Yeah. But goddamn, this guy picks so many great like fucking albums. Like, I want to talk to this guy, and he's like, no. That's too much time.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. 10 minutes is my limit.
I would love to get Joseph Manella on here though. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Because that dude, he picks some interesting shit, man.
Yeah, I remember one time you and I did a track by track, and then Joseph Manella asked for the same track by track, and I was like, dude, I just did this on my podcast. He goes, dude, I don't watch that shit. You know, I don't know what you do over there.
Well, until the next time, this is the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Knock him and eat a dick if you want me to do anything.